Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced, leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, October 19th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. 4 sports for us to break down today. Shout out to C-Mac for going 3-0 yesterday on the show in NHL. Very impressive with his looks on that Red Wings game. Great to see all of you guys. Real Deal Prime in the house. Londo ready to get to work, coming off a huge day. Viper MB, he's on the Arizona Diamondbacks team total over 2.5, first 5 at plus 110. And Chicago, Colorado under 6.5. We got the spreadsheet plays of the day in NHL and MLB ready to go as well. I have caught up with all of the stats, so I've got everything set up. So, Ron, can you give me the juice for those 2 spots that you are on for your spreadsheet plays of the day? Get this up here. I have your NHL. I have your MLB. MLB, Ron, has been a model of consistency. 53-45, 54.1% plus 3.39 units ROI plus 3.46% average line minus 109 has been spectacular. Viper MB also liking Altuve and Bregman over 1.5 bases. I will copy and paste that right now. Make sure that is locked in here. Just check this out here. Okay, beautiful. And Jeffrey Moore, 5-0 day yesterday. Absolutely great work. Joey Harb, serious business. Nasty Nate's nephew scored 2 touchdowns yesterday in that big New Mexico State win domination. 2 touchdowns. God, I mean, imagine that, seeing your blood dominating. What a wild ride that must be, Nate. We know what the next step is. We don't want to put, we don't want to put heavy expectations on him, but we know what the next step is, and it's pretty exciting. Joey Harb, like in the over 49.5 in James Madison Marshall. That's the order of our action today. We go NHL, and I know it's a huge NHL card, and not everybody loves NHL, and that's all good. It is a big part of our show. We are going to try to work briskly. It's been my bread and butter in my gambling career, and so we're going to hammer it. I've made 4 bets. I'm trying very hard to stay away from totals, so I bet 4 sides at this point. Let me lock in. We're going to start with Rice Tulsa because James Madison Marshall is the one we really want to talk about. I've not moved on either of those 2 games yet. There's serious business in the house. Jay Smooth, Mikey M says, time to get to work, Jimmy. Let's get that cash. Our guy, Mike M, we are very proud to announce that Mike M's new show starts this Monday. There's been something missing in the industry, and it was something that Pete and I used to do when we were in Costa Rica, and that was the late show. And it should have been even later. It should go up until, tip off in NBA or puck drop in NHL. And it's missing. The industry doesn't have that great show that pops off, an hour before, starts at 6 p.m. Eastern and goes right until tip off, where we get the last minute injury news and the last minute market information. And I'm very excited to let you guys know that we have filled that void. Jose, why don't you give him a little peek of what we're talking about?
Get your cocktails about the game script. A huge victory. We could have these streams and we put our heads together. Get your balls, put them on the table. We are live.
Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and we're very excited. Very excited that Mike has earned this opportunity, and we believe in him enormously. So Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It starts this coming Monday. It starts in 4 days, so we'll be hammering it with promo. If you guys could help get the word out there for our guy Mike, that would mean a ton to all of us. So Mikey M, the time is now. There is Sharpie in the house. Swig Bet says, thanks for the Oilers pick the other day. Was leaning it, but Pimp Slap made me press the button. Key and VP eats and travels, ready to get to work. Slatsy says, huge NHL slate, 4-0 day yesterday on Leafs with Jimmy -1 to +117. Very excited about that bet. North Ender said, smoked that NHL card last night, 4-0. There's Turnsy, 66 in the house. Tony Trill, ready to go. Said, had a K on the Astros last night, feeling good. That was very relaxing, wasn't it? Very, very comforting. First 5 in full game was very easy. Red Girl in the house. Nate Dogg, 420. NJ Striker. Michael Johnson says, what about Georgiev for the Vezina? It's a good look. It's an interesting look. He's certainly got the defense in front of him. I wonder what that number is. I think that a good goaltender in front of that defense should become a great goaltender. So it's a very, very interesting look. I like it. Paco Healy in the house. Jeffrey Moore took Astros +116. Almost got him at +120. Was waiting to see how high they would go. Bo Jackson, Ron Crawford cashed the NHL spreadsheet play today. Yes, I've got that all locked up. I've got that all here. It's all loaded here. Let me just go over to your NHL. Now, of course, it's just during our show. So you are 2 and 3, hitting at 40% in NHL, -2.05 units, ROI -41%, average line -125. But it's very early. Very early. We know that you will rock. So I've got it all set up there. All set up. So don't worry about any of that. Let's keep rolling through here. Paco Healy wanting Marshall +3.5. Situationally, I want them too. I don't know. Coming off of their first 2 losses of the year at home to finally put 1 beside the Duke's win or loss column, that makes so much sense to me. But breaking it all down, I felt it was very, very difficult to push the button. And maybe when we talk it out, Paco, then we can do that. Reclaim James, Ass Eater plays coming soon. Harold Williams, Red Wings, moneyline 2 units. I love it. Great job. Jeffrey Moore, 5-0 yesterday with the +700 prop. Shout out to Nasty Nate. And Ones says Philly's looking like low-hanging fruit, so he will take Arizona today. I am on the first 5 under. We will talk about all of that. Ronnie Crawford giving us the juice here. Thank you, Ron. Copy and paste that here under the spreadsheet action. Thank you, Ron. All right. Dinero in the house, ready to get to work. Jay Peasy, ready to go. Vibe says, we love NHL, free money. And Odds Bunch says, we got fucking days. Says, take your time. Money is waiting on MLB. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about all this. J Dub, Markel, Major Tom, Razor Sharp picks in the house, running so hot right now. Stimmy OG. He's big on the over 39 in the Saints game. I'm on the opposite of that. Makes me nervous that you're on the over. I just love Saints unders, and maybe I've cashed so many of them that it's time to get off the train, but I can't get off the train. I just can't do it. Just can't do it. Look at the Razors action though. 17-1 last 18 MLB plays. That's just unbelievably strong. Razor. Great work. Great work. Rodney RVD 420 in the house. Everybody excited about the late show. So are we. Odds Bunch Javier plus 425 to record the win. Great work, all of you guys. Love seeing all the winners at yesterday's show. Johnny Guns Great to see you guys. Harold Williams is on the Saints -1.5. I got the Saints money line at -120. I almost took -1 at -110, and maybe I should have done that. But yes, now it's -2 and -130. I like the spot for the Saints. I like, we'll go over all of that. And our guy Gogster gave us a winner in the last show at +120 in NFL. So he's 1-0 on the season, up 1.2 units. All right, let's get to work here. Yeah, I'm right with you, North Ender. Saints money line -120. Got that bet 365 on Tuesday evening. All right, let's go. We're going to get to work here, and we're going to move briskly through NHL. It's a moneymaker for us. So if you guys don't like capping NHL, that's the fun part about capping is you have complete autonomy with what you want to do, what you like, how you want to bet it. It's whatever you want. But let's get to work right now here. Occupancy saying, anyone liking any NHL totals tonight? And I'm trying so hard to stay away from them. I just don't believe we have enough data yet. I don't want to put up the power play and penalty killing numbers because the sample size is too small. I don't want to trust everything that I'm seeing 3 or 4 games in. And so at this point, I'm just trying to stay away from totals. But again, we talk about the complete autonomy that you have when you cap. If that's something you want to attack early in the year, go get it. Let's bring on our star of Thursday NHL handicapping coming from Belleville, Ontario. Please welcome Mr. Gogster to the show. Gogster, how are you, my friend?
What's going on, Jim? How you doing today, brother?
Doing good, my guy. Let's get to work right off the hop here. And again, you've carried on your rich history of being much better on my show than you have been on Peter's show. I mean, this is going to happen. We're in the second year of it. You had a great show with me on last Thursday, but the Tuesdays have not been as good. I don't want that to get in your head, but I like that you're saving your winners for me. I like that a lot.
I don't know what it is.
Let's get right to work. 7 p.m. Eastern, Calgary Flames 1-1-1. 1-1 on the road at the Buffalo Sabres. 1-2-0, 1-0 at home. We're at KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. It sounds like Dan Vladar will be in between the pipes making his season debut. Yep. Last year, he was not very good. Either was Markstrom, and they didn't make the playoffs. This year, I don't think he's going to be very good. Either will Markstrom, and I don't think they will make the playoffs. 14-6-5 Vladar went last year with a 2.83 goals against average, 895 save percentage. And Devin Levi has, he's been decent. It's a lot to ask for the young man, and I often fear that we're asking too much. I want to fade Calgary and bet on the Buffalo Sabres.
Really?
All off season, I wanted to bet the Kraken to win the division, to take their over 92.5 points and bet them to make the playoffs. But the market told me that was a mistake. And I had to dig deeper. Why would that be a mistake? Why would the Kraken not be a good bet this year? And because are we going to expect them to carry on the magic that they created in the second half of the year? That's a lot to ask.
I agree.
That's a lot to ask. And so I stayed off of all those Kraken bets. And I discussed it for a long time with some of my colleagues about it. And they were still saying they liked it. They liked the Kraken. And I got off of it. And I had to get off of backing the Buffalo Sabres here. When the line came out for the Kraken, I'm going to, and here's a little heads up. I'm on the Kraken today. But when the line, and that's my first time betting on the Kraken. I've only faded them so far this year. But when the line came out here, they're sitting back and they're begging us to take the Sabres. Begging us.
I agree.
This opened up at +103. How did it open up at +103? I mean, it shouldn't even open up there. And now it's at +112. So if I only focused on the market and not the X's and O's, I would immediately be on the Calgary Flames. I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in this hockey team. I'm not going to let the market just completely flip. But in those situations in the past, when I've flipped off of a side based on the market or talked about it, not just gotten off, if I had to bet the other side, I would have hit at a beautiful ROI. I'm not going to do that here. From a total side of things right now, I believe that Calgary is going to cash unders all year long. But I'm trying to stay away from totals. And this is sitting at 6.5 juice to the over. I mean, that is so appealing. That's just so appealing. Even with Vladar in goal to take the under, that is so appealing. I mean, yeah, maybe you don't want unders in Buffalo Sabres games, but you want them in Flames games. And the market is telling us that the Flames are going to dictate pace here. The Flames are in the middle game of a 5-game road trip and on the first of a back-to-back. They play at Columbus tomorrow night. They opened up the trip with a 5-2 loss at Pittsburgh, followed it up with a 3-2 shootout loss at Washington. Sabres are on game 2 of a 4-game homestand. They opened it up with a 3-2 overtime victory over the Lightning on Tuesday. Matthias Samuelsson is day-to-day with an upper body injury, so he hasn't missed a game yet this year. He played 17:36 against the Lightning. So Quinniman says, what if the Flames dictate the pace here? Well, then this is a gift, the under 6.5 at plus money. But let's see what Mr. Gogster has to say about this one. Take it away, Gogster. Flames, Sabres.
Yeah, great breakdown, Jimmy. The pace, dictating the pace. I think both of these teams, with Calgary coming off these 2 losses, 3-2, 5-2. Whenever I have a team, guys, coming off several losses, and Calgary, they don't have any major injuries too that I'm seeing here. Samuelsson, right winger for Buffalo, looks like he should be in. But Vladar, Jimmy, you said his number 16, 6-5 last year. Like, they win with this guy. And Markstrom's, if anything, I'd rather Vladar. I think that's their best chance. It's just going to be both of these teams. I think watching Buffalo against, I believe it was Tampa Bay, the last game they played there, and they looked strong. They ended up winning that game, Jim. I think it was 3-2. They scored at the end there, Tampa Bay. But I think they're going to get their offense going there. Tage Thompson, I think one of our guys in the chat brought him up there. He had 5 shots. He didn't score a goal for me, but watch, a day late, dollar short. He's probably going to score tonight. I think there's going to be a little bit of goals. I don't know if Calgary is going to dictate the pace too much. I think Buffalo can I was saying on Tuesday, Jim, they're a young team. They got that first line with experience, but the rest of the team's pretty young for the most part. Then you got Okposo in the 4th line. I think there can be some offense here. I wanted to take Calgary first period, but more I'm thinking, but I think both these teams can score in the first, Jim. I'm going with the famous first period, both teams to score plus 130. Look here, it's a little bit lower, but it's just because of the number, guys. 6.5, high juice. Vladar, he's okay. I think we're going to get a really good performance out of Calgary here. Now, that's not saying Buffalo's. I think they're going to continue momentum off that overtime win against Tampa Bay, Jim. I don't think they're just going to kind of lay flat and let Calgary dictate the pace the whole game. So I lean to the over. Who's going to win this game? I think it's a bit of a coin flip, but I think we're going to see some goals early. The over 1.5 was like minus 170, so that's why we're taking the both team to score, guys, plus 130 here.
Oh my God, is that under 6.5 appealing to me? Jesus.
Yeah, I feel like you can make cases for both sides here, Jimmy.
Well, they're just such different hockey teams, and this is a perfect matchup for the Flames with their experienced, tough, face-off winning centermen against these high-octane, very offensive young centermen. It's the perfect matchup for the Flames, who I despise.
I agree. I if I had to have a gun to the head, as we used to say, I would be on Calgary here money line if I had to pick a side. I do think they're going to bounce back. And Levy, he had that good game, but he's still a 7th-round goalie who's 6 foot. He is a French goalie, but
we got to get you saying Levi. We got to get you saying Levi.
Is it Levi? I call him Levy.
Yeah, we got to get you saying Levi here. He's going to be in the NHL for the next decade. So
those are genes. Those are genes. I'm calling him Levi.
Look, I think I'm going to move on the under 6.5. I think this is a real perfect opportunity for it. God, I got to get on it. So I don't know. I'm going to try hard not to, but I really want to. And that plus line is so appealing. So Gogster, first period. Oh,
yeah, I'm taking first period. Both teams to score plus 130, but you're making really good cases here, Jim, for your under, and even Calgary here. What about a Buffalo team total under? Would you like that, or?
I do not want to get cute, and I don't want to bet totals in the beginning of the season. That's something that you take when you have a bunch of statistics to analyze from what you've seen, and I just don't want to. I don't want to do that. But yes, I think the Flames are going to put you to sleep tonight. They know that's how to beat Buffalo. They're going to put you to sleep.
60 minutes. And you said too, Jim, when that money moves, it's a high rate if you were to take the other side. So, the more we're talking about, I feel like Calgary money line full 60 minutes could be the play here. I still feel confident my first period both teams to score. I think Buffalo still at home here. I think they're going to come out strong here.
All right, let's keep it rolling. There's Nunya in the house. We got Dabby Cab, Johnny K, Christopher Carter, Equinimus, Andrew G. Great to see all of you guys. Philly Eagle Flyer.
EQ.
All right, let's roll on. I may end up on this under 6.5. It's extremely appealing. Let's move on to the next ball on the board. Vancouver Canucks at Tampa Bay Lightning. And you know who will be in attendance at this very hockey game? None other than the Big Ragu.
Yes.
Doc will be live at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. It's the first time he's watching my Canucks in person. Thatcher Demko versus Jonas Johansson. We think some of these could be changed. So jump in if I've made a mistake.
Who's their backup? Anyone know their backup, Jimmy? Who's there?
Well, the two goalies that the Lightning are, I can't believe that Jonas Johansson has a job. Let me just say that. He's being passed around the NHL, and the fact that they believe in him here, and Sakic believed in him, and all these guys who I am shocked, continue to believe in him. And Thatcher Demko has started the year very strong, and he's healthy and strong, and this is a much stronger defensive team with Tocchet in the control here. But let's take a look at the line history here and break this one down. First off, this total is at 7 now. It's juiced to the under. That's an extremely high total. And I shouldn't say now, it's actually moved 8 cents towards the under. So that's a very, very high total, especially with a Lightning team that doesn't have Stamkos. We think he's missed the last 2 games with a lower body injury.
I think he's going to go. Jim.
He's going to go.
Yeah.
The money line here for these knuckleheads opened up at plus 118. They're now plus 115. I think that the Knucks at this number are appealing, especially coming off the 2-0 loss at Philadelphia on Tuesday. This is game 3 of a 5-game trip. They opened at home, destroyed the Oilers 8-1, went to Edmonton, beat them 4-3, then flew over to Philadelphia and lost 2-0. They were outshot 42-26 by Philadelphia, and they deserved to lose.
Twice they've been crushed.
Rick Tocchet. What do you mean?
They got crushed outshot against Edmonton when they lost 4-3. It was bad.
But Rick Tocchet is gonna fucking lose it.
He already did. Did you see the presser, Jim?
I didn't. No.
Oh, he called him soft. He said everyone on the team's soft, but the goalie pretty much. So. Yeah,
and that's not the first time he's called them soft here. So.
And he's already done it.
Lightning come in off being swept on a 3-game road trip. They lost 6-4 to Detroit, 5-2 at Ottawa, 3-2 in overtime at Buffalo on Tuesday night. As I said, Stamkos has missed the last 2 games. Vasilevsky is gone for at least another month after having back surgery. And Tyler Mott, who I love the pickup, Tyler Mott will miss his 3rd straight game because of an upper body injury. I'm a big Mott backer. North Ender says Brock Besser looks great. Pull out the clock and let's see what you think mid-November, because I've watched him play his whole career, and how many goals are going to go off his shin pad? We'll see. So take it away here. I've got no action on this one. Take it away, Canucks Lightning.
Yeah, as I was saying, the interview there, he wasn't too happy at all with the performance here, and I'm expecting a much better shot here. They were outshot, 2 of the 3 games pretty bad. Tampa Bay with their goaltending situation, Matt Tompkins and Jonas Johansson. That's probably the worst goaltending tandem in the NHL right now, guys. And that's the Tampa Bay Lightning. So Big Red Goose should get a goal fest here. It's at 7 for a reason. Go to the both teams to score first period again. Vancouver's going to come out guns a-blazing, but it's not saying Tampa Bay with Stamkos more likely than not returning here too, guys. What do I have here? He was on the first line, already on the power play unit this morning practicing. So it looks like he's going to be there with Hedman, Kucherov, Point, and Paul. So there's going to be a lot of offense on the ice here. The only way this stays under is somehow Demko stands on his head again, but he just had to last game against Philadelphia. Look for both teams to score early here. Jamie, should be an exciting game for a guy, Ragu. I would lean to the over, even maybe a both teams to score 3 goals. Expect there to be a big outing from both of these teams, because if you also, I believe you look at the Lightning, Jim, they're coming off a couple losses here. 3 losses in a row. Detroit, Ottawa, and Buffalo. Holy geez, 6-4, 5-2, 3-2. Both of these teams are going to be hungry for a win here, and I don't think not Demko's fine, but at home, Tampa Bay here, we all know how good they can be. It's just they're the goaltender between the pipes. So goals first period, and take goals any way you can in this game, in my opinion, Jim.
And what is your number for first period, both teams to score?
It is, we're looking at plus 120 here, so still get the nice plus number.
Plus 120. You know, it's too bad. Talkett's going to lose his mind all year long, but sometimes you have to look at the roster in front of you. Rutherford is going to try to change it, but we blame Jim Benning for putting together a real soft group. And, you know, he's going to be losing his mind all season long. Spreadsheet play of the day for Ron Crawford is Tampa minus 125. Real Deal Prime says Vancouver could be a good dog here. I agree, but I don't want to believe or trust in this team's heart. I really don't. And, anybody who does, God bless them. I mean, they after beating Edmonton 8-1, they went into Edmonton and beat them again. So let's roll on. Next up is my first action, 7 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Maple Leafs at Florida Panthers. Leafs 2-1-0. All three of those games at home. It's their first road game. And Florida Panthers 1-2. This is their home opener at Amerant Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have on a money line side of things, the Leafs sitting at minus 130. They opened up at minus 140. They went down to minus 130. That's when I bet them. They were minus 130 at both Pinnacle and Bet365.
I like it, Joe.
They went to minus 132. They're back at minus 130. I bet it when the line was moving in the opposite direction. So usually I would have waited, but I was like, you know what? I don't trust that.
We've been talking about Florida all year.
Oh, yeah, and I can't wait to continue talking about them. This under 7 is at minus 122. I don't want unders in Leafs games, especially with the way Samsonov is playing, but I don't think – I'm curious to see what Florida's offensive output looks like without Brandon Montour and Aaron Ekblad. There are, at least 20 teams in the NHL who don't have one defenseman as good as Brandon Montour and Aaron Ekblad. And now you have both of them out until at least November with the shoulder injury, and Sam Bennett out with the lower body injury, who brings all that toughness. Then you have the Leafs, who just got smoked by the Panthers in the playoffs 4-1, and remember it very, very well. And they also come in off a shocking 4-1 loss at home versus the Blackhawks on Monday night. It's funny, this team that's being set up here for the Leafs, you put together this toughness, but the fourth line, as much as Ryan Reeves is throwing his body around and fighting and all that stuff, they're a problem. It's a problem when he's on the ice. He's such a liability. That fourth line's being, I think they'd been outshot 18-2, really? And that was before the Blackhawks game. They'd been outshot 18-2 before the Blackhawks game, that fourth line. But you need his toughness. You need the accountability. Also, Bertuzzi, can you count on his head being locked in and not taking stupid penalties? I mean, these are all issues you're going to have, but you're trying to make the team tougher. I get it. The Panthers finished up their 3-game season opening road trip with their first win of the season, 4-3 at the Devils on Monday night. They were outscored 12-7 on this trip. And this is just a must bet for me. Leafs -1, plus 117. Money line was minus 130. Puck line was plus 170. I could have got plus 120 if I put it in at Pinnacle, but I sent it in at plus 117. Take it away for us here, Gogster. Leafs, Panthers.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a homer here either, Jim, but kind of looking towards Florida here. Samsonov, his numbers actually aren't too bad, taking away the playoffs and the atmosphere there, just regular season. 4 goals against in 3 games against Florida. So he's actually been okay. It's just he doesn't look good between the net. He's way too floppy, you could say. He's too shifty. He's not as stable in the net as I'd like to see from a goaltender. And then Bobrovsky, it's going to be their first home game. So this is their home opener here, guys, in down in Florida here in Sunrise. So, but with Florida here, Bobrovsky regular season, looking at some stats, he struggled against this Toronto team. He's only allowed less than 3 goals once in the last 6 games against Toronto. So Toronto's definitely had their number coming off that 4-1 loss. I'm going to be in the same corner here, Joe. I'm taking Toronto money line with the over 2.5. So Toronto to win this game, 3-1, 3-2, overtime if that's the case. I see Toronto scoring at least 3 here again. And, their power play is humming. I know you didn't like bringing up power play stats, Jim. It's been early, but 40%. They're definitely, if you get them on the power play, Toronto's dangerous. And I don't think Florida can keep up here. They're sitting at a 66% penalty kill too. So they got issues on the penalty kill, and then no Montour on their power play definitely hurts their offense. So this should be a Toronto play in my opinion here. I'm not going to take the money line. I don't see Toronto winning this 2-1. I think they're going to come out here scoring some goals. No key injuries for Toronto. So let's take Toronto here with you, Jim, and the over 2.5 minus 115 is going to be the line there.
You got it. Leafs and the over 2.5 and minus 115. Let's roll on. 7 p.m. Eastern. Nashville Predators 1-3-0, 0-2-0 on the road at the New York Rangers 2-1-0, 1-0-0 at home at Madison Square Garden in New York, New York.
Yeah.
UC Saros has not gotten off to a great start. I expect that to change. And Shesterkin has gotten off to a pretty solid start. 2-1, 2.3 goals against average, 904 save percentage. Let's get right into the line history here for this one. Nashville Rangers. And, I made the future bet on Nashville, and Luke Schenn being out with lower body injury was like just a punch in my stomach. He was a big reason why I kind of like this Nashville team. It sucks that he's not in the lineup. This total is at 6, and it opened at 6.5. Wow, I didn't know that. It only lasted there for 3 minutes. Wow.
Had to have gone down, no?
Yeah, well, it lasted for 3 minutes, dropped to 6. That's where it is right now. So we have moved to the under, and even the under 6 is juiced. From a money line side of things, we have Nashville sitting up plus 164. They opened up plus 161. The market had moved a little bit in their direction. Now it's gone back. We're going to talk about teams that are, devoid of heart, and the Rangers are pretty high on that list for me. I didn't want futures on them. I don't. They sure look good on paper.
Great point, Nathan.
But we're gonna have to see what happens when we're on the ice, and I haven't liked what I've seen. Predators coming off an ugly 6-1 loss at home over the Oilers on Wednesday. Rangers coming off a 2-1 win at home over the Coyotes on Monday. Nick Bonino day-to-day with a lower body injury. Nothing appealed to me here. I need Luke Schenn out there for the Predators, and I don't know if I'm going to want the Rangers at all for a while. Until they can prove that they're going to fight. I don't want them. Take it away for us here. Predators, Rangers.
Yeah, the under is kind of where I'm looking here, to be honest, guys. Now, they haven't looked good. Someone in our chat here just brought up Nathan saying the deficiencies from the Pred scoring, and I would agree there. They had a new coach there, Andrew Burnett. And it's a very young team for the most part here, Jim. They got rid of some big players, with Duchesne and company there. So they got Tomasino, Kiefer Sherwood, Nyquist. Just looking at some of their plug-and-play guys. Cody Glass, who they have high hopes for. And then Luke Evan Glacida, butchering his name, but they have high hopes for this young guy too. Played a lot with the Milwaukee Admirals. So there's not a lot of offense here, Jim. Their goaltending is what they've relied on for a while with Saros. Expect him to play better here. He's only allowed 3+ goals in one of his last 6 games, 2 against this Rangers team. So he has been pretty good under this the spotlight at MSG. Ryan O'Reilly, they picked up Ryan O'Reilly. I could see this being an under game. It's not one of my stronger plays. As you can tell, I'm kind of humming and hawing on this one, Jim. I would lean, if anything, first period under 1.5. No goal, first 9, but I'm not going to play this game. I'm going to stay off this one. There's a lot of question marks with the Predators and the Rangers. It's just going to be, when are they going to turn it on? They got a playoff team. If you look at them, they got a playoff hockey team. It's just what we're going to get from them day in and day out. So I'm going to lay off this game, but I would lean to the unders, however you want to take it.
Yeah, this doesn't appeal to me at all.
Yeah, so, I was almost going to force the under, Jim, but it's a huge card. Let's not do that.
Let's roll on. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Edmonton Oilers at Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers at home is a situation I don't want to fade ever. I'm only going to look to back them there. And the Canucks spot was a perfect spot to do that. But again, with all these sports going on at the same time, I think that sometimes I overdo it, and I'm trying to take little bits of time so that I'm not just destroyed by all the work that goes into it. But that was a perfect opportunity to back Philadelphia. They're going to be those opportunities. Teams feeling good about themselves on the first game of a road trip. Now, it really wasn't the first game of a road trip because they were in Edmonton the 2 nights before or whatever. But, on an early road trip, traveling across the country to play Philadelphia, it's a sleepy spot. And remember when the Islanders were playing in Brooklyn and only 10 or 11,000 fans would come out, the Islanders were dominating Western Conference teams because it's sleepy. Now, no game in Philadelphia is really sleepy because of the crowds, but
happens to Belleville all the time with the AHL. Jimmy, teams come here in Belleville, and we got a small barn, and we always get up, and these other teams just kind of they're playing in Belleville, and they don't get up for them.
Yeah, no, it's a perfect comparison. Stuart Skinner supposed to be in that, Soupy Dumps. Campbell and Stuart Skinner have both gotten off to awful starts, and that's a problem. It's a real problem.
Not surprised though, to be honest.
They need. They're getting hammered in the press. They're and it's so funny because Campbell had the spectacular preseason and then comes right in and gets lit up by the Canucks. Like these guys, they're seeing ghosts out here. Carter Hart looks great. 2-1, 2.35 goals against average, 922 save percentage, 1 shutout. He knows he's the man there, so he doesn't need to worry about anything. Let's get into the line history here for this one. The Oilers are at minus 182 at Pinnacle. That's a much different line than you see anywhere else. There's been a big move towards them a minute ago in the last 2 minutes.
Campbell's in.
Oh, Soupy is in.
It looks like he's in the starter's crease this morning, they're saying.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think you got to give him some opportunities here. But
I agree.
In the last 20 minutes, they've gone from minus 199 to minus 182. I guess that's from the Campbell announcement. I don't really think Campbell's that much of a downgrade from Skinner at all at this point in the year. So I don't know why that drop is there, but it's there. From a total side of things here, we have it sitting at heavily juiced over 6.5 or heavily juiced under 7, depending on what you prefer to bet. So the Oilers bounce back big, back-to-back opening night losses to the Canucks, or they lost on opening night, and then back-to-back season opening losses, I should say, to the Canucks and then they beat Nashville 6-1 to start this mini road trip. It's just a mini road trip. It ends tonight. The Flyers come in off of a big 2-0 home victory over the Canucks on Tuesday. Rasmus Ristolainen day-to-day with an undisclosed ailment. These guys are fighting hard for torts, and I'm only going to look for ways to back them at home. Only look for ways to back them at home. I don't. And on the road. I've got Philadelphia under 75.5 points, and it may sound wild, but I'm only looking at ways to back them. I'm not going to ever look at ways to fade them. Take it away for us here, Gogster, Oilers, Flyers.
Yeah, and looking at the goaltending situation with Carter Hart, he's on the contract here. I keep saying it, and he's been a lot better, Jim. 7 goals against in 3 games. He's 2-1. The team's 2-1 with that win against Vancouver. In this game, I think we're going to see a similar performance from Campbell. He looked good, 6-1 against Nashville, and I think early this is going to be a sneaky play here, guys. Carter Hart's been strong, and I think Campbell can look good here. Philly's not a team that's going to go up and down the ice with you. No goal first 9 minutes is going to be plus 115. I see this being a slower game here. I don't see Edmonton. They did what they had to do. They got it early against Nashville. This is going to be a tougher defensive team. And then you got Carter Hart, who's playing really well right now, coming off that 2-0 shutout. So I think we're going to see no goals early. What's going to happen as the game goes on? It's Edmonton. Who knows? But early, Jimmy, I think this is a sneaky play here. Gut feel, and also just based on what we've seen from Campbell and Hart and even Philadelphia here. I think Edmonton did what they had to do last game. I don't see them coming out like they did last game against Nashville. Early, no goal, first 9 minutes, plus 115.
That's an interesting look. I like it. Let's move on to 8 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Coyotes 1-2. All 3 games have been on the road thus far. At St. Louis Blues, who are 1-0-1, 1-0 at home. We're at Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's get into the line history here for this one. This is sitting at 6 right now. There's been a 2-cent move to the under, a very, very minimal. Let's get over to the money line here in this one. And we have the Blues sitting at minus 111. They opened up at minus 138. And that's just a monstrous move in the Arizona Coyotes direction. Just a monstrous move. Nate Dogg looking at Arizona money line. Wow, that's just such a big, big, big move. You have Vejmelka versus Binnington at this point. Both goalies have looked excellent.
Yes.
The Coyotes come in off of 2 tough low-scoring losses, 2-1 at the Rangers and 1-0 at the Islanders Monday and Tuesday. The Blues come in off a 2-1 shootout loss at home versus the Kraken on Saturday night. Buchnevich is out with an upper body injury. Bucci is a big piece to this team. It's going to hurt them. Yeah. I do think that the Coyotes would be a team to back early and fade, around the 30-40 game mark. But you have to have a decent price fading them, and that's starting to happen with how well they're playing. There's nothing I find appealing in this hockey game. To sit back and expect the Blues and Coyotes to keep playing this extreme defensive hockey, I think is a dangerous way of looking at it. And to sit back and trust, I hope Binnington has a bounce back, season for him, but this does not interest me from a gambling standpoint. Jay Smoot looking at the first period under 1.5, and Eric Jones on the Arizona full game under 6. I just want to hammer Mally Mousing Arizona unders look good. It's a danger to expect consistency in totals early in the year. I know the Coyotes are playing very tight defensive hockey here on the road, but this is a young squad with offensive talent. And the Blues aren't a team that was known for any defensive prowess last year. I'm just warning you about that. Not saying that you shouldn't bet it, but you have a bias from what you've just seen. Take it away here, Gogster. Coyotes, Blues.
Yeah, great points, Jim. The goalies have looked really good, but historically, careful with St. Louis's defense. What I'm going to look at here, guys, I think Arizona have enough to come out early here strong. A lot of first period looks. I love my first periods. And I think Arizona, guys, first period here, they got that win too last game, the Blues 2-1 back on Saturday in a shootout. Both games went to shootout 2-1. But with losing Buchnevich, they don't have a lot of offense, as you can see, 2-1. That's going to hurt them. I got Kyrou in one of my drafts. He hasn't done a lot either. I think Arizona here, Jimmy, early can come out and jump on Binnington and St. Louis. They got a power play that can actually score too. I know it's only been a couple games, but St. Louis, they haven't done anything on the power play. Losing Buchnevich too isn't good. I want to take full game almost Arizona too, but I think we're going to get a really good performance from Arizona in the first period here. So minus 103 is going to be the line, guys, on Arizona first period money line here.
Gogster on the Coyotes first period. This doesn't appeal to me, but the next game does. 8 p.m. Eastern, Los Angeles Kings at Minnesota Wild. So you guys will see trends in the way I bet if I keep everything clean. And I want to do that. I don't want to reach. I want to cut my quantity down. I want to keep everything clean. I want to fade all teams missing 2 top defensemen. You could say that Alex Goligoski isn't a top defenseman for the Wild, but you can't say that about Jared Spurgeon. They're both out. Now you lose Matt Boldy. Matt Boldy out with an upper body injury. Those are real injuries, serious injuries. And I'm a guy who believes in the Kings. I have them to win the West at 8-1. I do question their goaltending, although Cam Talbot has looked decent, pretty good to start the year. Going up against Marc-Andre Fleury, who has looked good to start the year as well. I'm on the Kings here. We're sitting here with the Kings at minus 106 at Pinnacle. They opened up at minus 101. I got in at minus 105 on the Kings. This was another situation I could have just used it in my account at plus 100, but I sent it in at minus 105. I just, it is what it is. 25% in and out. No book's ever going to be able to compete with that. And it's a luxury that I have that, if it's close enough, I'm just going to send it in. And I'm also just going to report on Twitter what I've actually bet, not what the best line available is, which is always over the years hurt my final record. But what the fuck ever. Like, I'm just trying to show you what I'm fucking betting. Not these are the best lines and these are the my picks. Cam Talbot going up against Marc-Andre Fleury. Let's get to the total here in this one. This total is sitting at 6 right now. It's juiced to the under. It opened at minus 108. It's now minus 110. It got up to minus 116. We've had a little bit of buyback on the over. The Kings coming off a 5-1 win at the Jets on Wednesday for their first win of the season. We see this a lot. A team opens up at home with all these high expectations, don't look very good, get on the road and start rolling. Do I want to back the Kings after the 5-1 dominating win? No, but I believe this is a 2-game mini road trip. So they know that they just have to win here, go 2-0 at home, get on the plane back to LA. This is all business here. And I just think that they're a better hockey team. That's simple. I think they're a better hockey team. I think that they had a tough opening, at home. They get on the road. You know what it's like to be on a hockey team or be on any team. Get on the road to start the year, be all business, and start playing good hockey. And that's what they did against Winnipeg, and that's what I think they'll do here against Minnesota. I'm on the Kings money line minus 105. Take it away for us here, Gogster.
Yeah, Slatsy. I agree with Slatsy chat in the chat here, guys. Fleury, I don't know. They got their win against Montreal. It was a really good win, too. Now they're traveling back home. And the Kings, guys, the first period, they're lucky they weren't down in that first period against Winnipeg. They came back, though, second, third period, just dominated, won that game, 5-1, I believe it was. And I think they're going to carry that momentum actually into this game in Minnesota. I was almost going to just have a no play here, but as you're talking about it, and even our guy here, Slatsy, our guy Nathan, though, he seems like he knows his hockey. He's going with the Wild first period money line. I'm going to go the other side here, man. I'm going to go the Kings first period money line. I think they're going to continue that momentum from the last game. And the Kings, too, they lost against Carolina, Colorado, Winnipeg. They've been playing battle-tested teams. Now they got Minnesota, who are coming off that game against Montreal. Fleury's home opener. Now he's going again. I thought Gustafsson was going to go, and I think Gustafsson has a bounce back performance in him after that Toronto shellacking he took. So I think the Kings here are gonna. I think they're gonna come. I don't know if they're gonna win the full 60 minutes here, but first period, I'm gonna take a shot with the Kings minus 109, Jim. With the injuries too, like you said, no Goligoski now too from Minnesota. Give me the Kings. I'll take them first period money line.
You got it locked in, first period minus 109. And I'm really high on this hockey team. You know, I think that their defense could use a little bit of work, but the size of their forwards, they're going to be really tough in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So tough. You got that Kopitar and Byfield, you know, whether it's Fiala or Kempe, when you have 2 6'5" forwards that are tough and big that can't be pushed off the puck, the Kings are going to be really good this year. I probably should have taken their over for season points, but I have them to win the West at 8-1. I really believe
they got offense. Like they got Kaliev. I remember last year on the power play, he was really good. They got him on the third line with Deneau and Trevor Moore too. And then the top 2 lines picking up Dubois, Mikey Anderson. He's been great. Just their defense, you know, Englund, Jordan Spence, Matt Roy, obviously Doughty still. Their defense hopefully can stay intact, but their offense, they're one of the best.
I love the insights from Slatsy too. I know that Jose, popped it up on the screen, but the Slatsy in Montreal, he says, Fleury confirmed for the Wild could be let down. He probably played his last game in his hometown, got the win in front of family and friends, and was partying after the game.
That's what really actually made me pull the trigger, because I was going to not pull the trigger on the Kings. I saw our guy Nathan, some other people kind of talking about that. But, inside information, even from our guy Slatsy, which I trust your instincts. And with that information, I'm gonna rock and roll with the Kings first period, guys. I'm
on the next spot here, Vegas Golden Knights at Winnipeg Jets, and every single thing makes me pumped to bet the Jets. Every single thing except one huge factor, and that's that the attendance in that loss to the Kings was 11,226, and we've been through this before. And you know what I think is they should ship out to Quebec City. I don't really have compassion. I do a bit. I mean, tickets are expensive, and
that's the problem. Yeah, the cost of living's went up so much, especially in Winnipeg. It's tough.
Yeah, there's Son Dizzle in the house. Son Dizzle. He's got a stay over or whatever it's called for a night here in like a few days. So I'll get to pick him up at the airport. Have some.
He's still a Bronco fan, or did he jump ship? He didn't jump ship, did he?
He's in love with a Bronco fan.
That helps.
Winnipeg Jets here, that's a real problem. And I have friends in Winnipeg. They all say the same thing. They'll go if they're gifted tickets. They just say it's too expensive. So send this franchise over to Quebec. Let's not, sit here and wait till they succeed, because, maybe they're just not a big enough city to have a professional hockey team right now. And maybe Quebec isn't either.
Quebec, but they're built different over there. Like in the sense they love, you don't understand how much they love hockey. It's like football of the South. Like Quebec, you don't got to say much to fill up a barn in Quebec, guys. So,
and Sonny says that the Jets tickets he got were $130 for the lower bowl. So, all right, so that's the only thing that I don't like. I like everything about the situation. I love Brissois going up against the Knights. I love that shit.
Yeah,
I love fading Vegas after they come out to a 4-0 start, and I don't trust Dallas, so I didn't take Dallas against Vegas, even though we're going to go over their injuries here in a second. And I haven't faded Vegas yet, so I'm fortunate. I want to fade them so badly, and I'm going to start for better or for worse. So let's take a look at the line history. I got a Winnipeg plus 100. First off, we'll talk about this total here. And we are sitting here with a 6. It's a pick'em at 6, and it opened at a pick'em, so no difference there. We'll get over to the money line here in this one, and we have it. The Jets now at minus 104. I like that. I got the plus 100. They opened up at plus 104, so they're now minus 104. So Vegas is everything you want in the hockey team. Look, they have it all: character, skill, size, everything. If you're a Vegas Golden Knight fan, you are very lucky.
Well built.
But Pietrangelo is day-to-day with upper body injury. Alec Martinez, Zach Whitecloud are on the IR. it doesn't matter how defensively responsible their forwards are, especially Chandler Stevenson, who might be my favorite player in the NHL. It's going to affect them at some point. They coming off that 3-2 shootout win at home over Dallas on Tuesday night, and now they go to Winnipeg. It's always helped when this barn was packed. It always helped because nobody wants to go to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
The Jets coming off the ugly 5-1 loss at home versus the Kings on Tuesday night. Remember when I started down in Costa Rica, we had a video that we'd play, and it was of this guy taking a dump in a planter in the underground tunnel, because everything's underground in Winnipeg because it's so cold. And there was this guy just looking around, and it's noon, everybody walking around in suits, and he just walks over and takes a dump in a planter. And
it's awesome soil.
The Jets coming off an ugly 5-1 loss at home versus the Kings on Tuesday. I wish it was jammed. Gabe Viardi out with the lower body injury until at least mid-November. That hurts them. But Swig saying Aiden Hill being so sharp too. He has been. Slatty saying that Viardi injury sucks. There's Wine Time Sports in the house. Justin McAfee ready to get to work. And Remos, I hear you. But I'm on the Jets here. I'm on the Jets with confidence. Jets, even money. Take it away, Gogster.
Yeah, I saw one. They're talking about who's going to fill the void there with Velarde being out, and I heard Rasmus Kapari is going to be the guy that's going to be moving up. This Jets team, I expect more from them, Jim. I just don't know when they're going to start putting it all together. Now, Brossoit, like you said, he beat this Jets team. He took them out last year with Vegas. Now he's on Winnipeg. It's funny. He was on Winnipeg, then he was on Vegas. Now he's back on Winnipeg. So Martinez and Pietrangelo, guys. Martinez, I heard, is actually traveling with the team, Jim. So he could be in along with Pietrangelo. They could have actually both of them back tonight from what I've been looking at. Looking at this Jets team in this Vegas, I lean to the unders here. That's where I would look. Under first period, 1.5, full game under. I got no play on the side here, Jim. I'm rooting for Winnipeg, but I don't know. This Vegas team looks like a juggernaut right now. Remind me of Boston almost last year. Just the way Aiden Hill's been playing. How long is he going to do that? I don't know, but playing Anaheim, Seattle, Dallas, this will be a tougher test with Winnipeg, but I got no play here, guys. I'm leaning to the unders, but still got to wait, especially that show. Shout out to Mikey M. I can't wait. I'm going to be tuning in that 6 p.m. show. This is when you got to have that information to know if certain players are in or not. So, there's still question marks here in this game, so I'm going to lay off it, Jim.
Let's roll on. This is a bet that I want to make. I just want to say it all out loud. It's always tough to bet dogs. 10 p.m. Eastern, Dallas Stars 1-0-1, 0-0-1 on the road at the Ducks, 1-1-0, 1-0-0 at home at Honda Center in Anaheim, California. I just don't trust the Stars. I don't trust them early in the year, and I don't trust them leaving Vegas. Ottinger has been excellent. Gibson's been really strong as well. Let's talk about the line history here. I want the Ducks' first period. Those first period dog spots have been very good to me to start the season. But I just wanted to go over everything and see what happened with the line before I did it. And that's everything that I kind of was thinking could happen has happened. If I had moved last night, there's been a 17-cent move since that time. Actually, it's been more than that. For the Stars, there's been a 21-cent move since 5 a.m. So I guess I can wait. I want the Ducks first period here. I'm not going to. I don't know. I got to watch this Stars team with these vets that I despise. I've got to watch. And look, I had futures on them last year. I can look past my hatred, for some of these, for Seguin and Duchesne, I think, and Ben. I think I can look past how much I hate them. And I don't hate them because they're good. I don't hate them because they've got me or anything like that. I hate them because they're assholes. This opened up at 6 juice to the under. It's now 6 juice to the over. Now Ben's changed his game in a good way. So he has matured, but let's break this down here. Stars, Ducks. Dallas comes in off a 3-2 shootout loss at Vegas on Tuesday. The Ducks coming off a 6-3 win at home. Or sorry, it was a 6-3 loss. Was it? Or did they? Sorry, did they beat? 6-3 win at home over Carolina on Sunday.
Yeah, they beat Carolina there. Yeah.
Ducks coming off a 6-3 win at home over Carolina on Sunday. They're dealing with injuries at forward, so Alex Killorn is going to be a big piece of this puzzle. Brock McGinn and Isaac Lindstrom are all out with injuries. And Nate Dogg saying the over 6 on the Dallas game. Overs are going to be great with this young forward group in Anaheim. I don't expect them to be great with the way Dallas is being coached, but I can understand moving on. I'm going to move on to Ducks first period, but I guess I should just wait. I don't see this. No, I could easily be so wrong here, and maybe the Stars just bounce back so easily. But Slatsy says Stars 7-1 last 8 games, but 4-10 last 14 in Anaheim. I want Anaheim first period, but I'll wait to see what kind of number I can get. Take it away, Gogster.
Yeah, this game here, Jim. Gibson, historically, he's been with this team Anaheim for a long time, and I don't think their defense is getting any better. He's 5-7-2 against Dallas. And this spot here, Dallas should really get it going. The thing I've noticed, just looking at some stats, guys, is they're not shooting the puck enough. 29th in shot percentage, 20th in shots per game. Their save percentage is fine. Obviously, they got a top goaltender in Ottinger. There's too many question marks still, in my opinion, with Anaheim. I got to take Dallas here. I'm going to add them in a money line parlay. I had a hard time taking Dallas, even regulation here, Jim. I don't know how they're going to win. I think they're going to win this game. I don't know how, but my Stars here. I believe they're going to win this game. Bounce back. Tough spot for Anaheim here. I'm taking Dallas here. I'm going to tighten in with another team. You guys might guess who it is coming up, but I don't have a lot. They're healthy now too. That's another thing, Jim. They had a couple injuries, especially in the preseason. They weren't able to get all their players going in the preseason. Wyatt Johnson, our guy Rupe Hintz was there. There's another guy out too. So they're finally healthy. Rupe's back, and I think they're gonna win this game. Score some goals too. I do like the over. Hofer.
The Winnipeg kid's in Hofer. 23-year-old Hofer. I like him.
I watched this kid. He's good. It's funny because Belleville beat him pretty bad in the AHL when he came here. He's very, very shifty though. Like, you want to talk about a guy that's like cat-like reflexes? This Hofer guy's got it. It's just, I feel like he's got like a certain type of weakness. Belleville figured it out when he was here. I don't know where it was, but that's interesting. He's a good goalie.
Let's roll on here because we're going to get into NFL, see if Gogster can go 2-0 on the young season. I've got 2 bets on NFL as well. We move on to Carolina Hurricanes, Seattle Kraken. I got action on this. I didn't fade the Kraken at all of those spots, but I got off of them on the division, and I got off of them on the over 92.5, and I got off of them on the make the playoffs, only minus 125. But I'm on them here. I'm on them here with confidence. Let's go over the line history here for this one. This total is at 6. It's juiced to the under, being a 5-cent move to the under at Pinnacle, and from a money line spot here. And somebody asked, why is Carolina so cheap? I'll tell you here in a second. The Kraken opened up at plus 121. They're now at plus 125. They're injured. Yeah. And I don't think Freddie Anderson can play anyways. I think he's hurt, so I expect Antti Ranta to be in there. Grubauer has looked okay, even though they're 0-3. Carolina comes in off that 6-3 win at San Jose on Tuesday. So both Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov are hurt. We know Svechnikov's hurt. He's been on the IR. But Aho is day-to-day. He missed the Sharks game. So, yeah, the first game, they don't need him. Nachas and the boys, step up. I mean, Jarvis and Nachas are great players. Now, in game 4 of a 6-game road trip against the Kraken team that lost 4-1 in their home opener, this is a great spot, I believe. And I moved on it. Kraken, and Brian, my man, asked about it. So it's the injuries. So Kraken plus 125 with confidence. Take it away, Gogster.
What kind of schedule are they giving this Carolina team to have a 6-game road trip? Yeah, like that's rough, man. To start right off the bat, they've had trouble stopping the puck. Like, the overs have been left, right, and center. At least 8 goals in all 4 of their games. I want to take Seattle. The line is pretty low. It almost is telling me actually maybe Seattle could be the play in this game.
Billy's telling us why. I love having all these cappers from their series because of the state fair. They have to start on the road.
Oh. Wow. State fair. Wow. Who would have thought? They got to axe that state fair. No offense, but just a bad timing. It could hurt this Hurricanes team. In this game, Jim, with no Anderson, it looks like Svechnikov could be back on the 24th. I saw there. He is skating. And then, talking about Aho, is he going to be back? Who knows? What do I have here? 53 of 62. Anderson hasn't looked that good. Grubauer has been 80 of 88. Another game I don't really want to get involved in. I have Seattle team total over 2.5 written down here, and also Seattle money line. I'm not going to play it, but that is where I would look. I think Seattle do have a bounce back here, and no Tanev does hurt their forechecking, as we know. He's a great 3rd, 4th liner, but it's just a game I'm not going to get involved with. Kind of a really weird line.
We are on our way to NFL. Let's just finish off these last two games quickly. 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Chicago Blackhawks 2-2 start all 4 games thus far on the road at the Colorado Avalanche. This is their home opener at Ball Arena. Peter Mrazek has looked very good. We know and Kokkonen confirmed for Seattle. Kokkonen confirmed. Well,
Kokkonen for Seattle.
I guess I'd rather have Grubauer, but whatever. Thank you for the.
No, he's on San Jose. No, he's on San Jose, isn't he?
No, I thought he moved. Oh, I thought he moved over in the offseason. Sorry.
Yeah, so they're not. I think that's the Boston game. I had Kokkonen too. Yeah.
Yeah, what am I talking? He isn't being moved. Okay.
I think Grubauer should go for Seattle.
Yeah, Kokkonen Sharks. Okay, let's stay focused here. Chicago Blackhawks at Colorado Avalanche, Ball Arena, Mrazek and Georgiev. Yeah, because it's Drieger. Of course, it's Drieger. It's been the backup there for the whole time. So, okay, but Mrazek and Georgiev here for the home opener for Colorado. Blackhawks coming off that big 4-1 win at the Leafs on Monday. The Avs come in off that 4-1 win at. It's all good, Slatsy. Avs coming off a 4-1 win at Seattle on Tuesday. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. Second to last game on the board here. And I mean, I do not want Chicago after that big 4-1 win, but I don't want Colorado at minus 349. And the way Colorado's playing right now, they're trying to show a defensive side, to get them going into the playoffs. And I just don't want anything to do with this hockey game in any spot. But for those of you looking at the total, let's just take a look at the line history and then hand it over to Gogster, get into our final game, then get into NFL, then MLB, and then the 2 college football games. So this total is at 6.5. It's juiced to the under. It's exactly where it opened. Take it away, Gogster. Blackhawks, Avalanche.
Yeah, looking into the stats for the goalies, as I love to do, guys. Mrazek's got a 4-1-2 career versus Colorado team, so he actually has played this team pretty damn well. 72 of 77 this year. It has actually looked a lot better than I expected. And then Georgiev, he's someone said have him to win the Vezina. I don't mind that at all. He's been a really good goalie. First game at home, I would lean towards this is what Colorado did a lot in the past, guys, and it was the first period under. They don't score a lot in the first period, but as the game goes on, all of a sudden the floodgates open. So do I want to play this? I kind of do, but I'm going to stay off it, guys. Chicago's on a long road trip here, too. They still haven't had a home game, playing the likes of Pittsburgh, Boston, Montreal, and Toronto. The line does seem a little too high for Colorado here, especially coming off that road trip. Could be a sleepy game. Well, not sleepy game. It's their home opener. But I got no play. I lean to the first period under here, Jimmy. It's just going to be a no play just based on the line.
Londo likes the Blackhawks plus 1.5. Bo Jackson likes Blackhawks to score first. Nate Dogg liking Chicago plus 1.5 as well. And that's Slatsy thinking this could be a sneaky under. And Billy Friedrich has a heavy lean to the under. Yep. I don't want to be involved in the Blackhawks game after they win 4-1 at the Leafs. And I don't want to be involved in minus 340. So let's move on to the final game on the board, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. I told you guys that I expect Boston to be good this year. They're in the perfect team for unders as well. They come in off a 3-2 win at Nashville on Saturday. This is their first road game of the year. They haven't played since Saturday. So it's Ullmark versus Kokkonen. Kokkonen, 875 save percentage. Hasn't looked good early. The Sharks haven't looked good. The Sharks are beat up too. So they're missing Mark-Edward Vlasic. He's day-to-day, but Radko Simek is on the IR. And then you have Michael Granlund and Logan Couture on the IR with lower body injuries. And, Couture could be back soon. So, you have a real beat-up Sharks team, and the Bruins team hasn't played in 5 days. So this total is sitting here at 6. It's slightly juiced to the over. It's and it moved to 6.5 at one point yesterday at 3:43 p.m. Came right back down. Mm-hmm. I think that's way too high for any Bruins game. But I just don't know what you're going to get from the Sharks, and I need to watch them more with this young group missing important pieces. And then you have Boston as a minus 263 favorite. I mean, just there's nothing that appeals to me here other than an under, which I don't want to risk on the Sharks here. So Mikey M says fun trend to keep an eye on. Teams at home with the next game versus the Rangers or St. Louis have gone 0-26 since early 2021. That's wild. Take it away for us here. The final game on the board before NFL. Bruins Sharks.
Yeah, this Sharks team, the NHL doesn't really like them, I think. They're giving them home games, Jim, but listen to this. Vegas, Colorado, Carolina, Boston. Have fun, San Jose. Good luck playing those teams. They're just in a real tough spot here. Boston, guys, this is going to be the addition in the money line parlay, Jimmy, with Dallas. So I got Dallas guys in Boston. Moneyline parlay coming out to minus 114. That's going to close out the card here. I'm not going to overthink this. Jimmy said they're injury riddled. It's too much for San Jose to overcome. They're already a bad team coming into this year. And with the injuries and a top team in Boston, Allmark's going to get the start here. 20-21 already versus Chicago. Look for a similar game. San Jose is not going to get more than 2 goals here. Boston win.
Stars and Bruins for Gogster. All right, let's review all action in NHL. And of course, all of Gogster's action on Tuesdays is counted for his record here. Gogster's on first period. Both teams score plus 130 in Calgary, Buffalo. I think I'm going to add the under 6.5. Gogster's on first period. Both teams to score in Canucks, Lightning, and the NHL spreadsheet play of the day is the Lightning, and Big Ragu will be live at that game. I'm on the Leafs -1 very confidently. Gogster's on the Leafs and over 2.5 shots on goal in Leafs, Florida. Oh, sorry, over 2.5 goals. Jesus, sorry. Nashville, New York, Rangers, we are both off. Gogster's on no goal first 9 minutes in Edmonton, Philadelphia. Gogster's on the Coyotes first period against the Blues. I'm on the Kings. Gogster's on the Kings first period. I'm on the Jets money line, and I'm going to add the Ducks first period. Gogster's on the Stars, Bruins money line parlay. That was at plus 114, Gogster?
Minus 114.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Minus 114. And let's keep rolling. I'm on the Kraken at plus 125. I love my action. I love my card. And then I'm going to add the Ducks first period and the under 6.5, which it's like those are. I wonder if I should just keep it clean, but you can't. You got to fire your shots, and you can't be nervous about it, even though. Fuck. Okay. Blackhawks, Avalanche. I mean, of course, I'm nervous about it. They're plus money spots for a reason, Blackhawks, Avalanche were off, and Bruins, Sharks is part of the money line parlay. All right, let's get into NFL and then MLB here. Jacksonville Jaguars at New Orleans St. Caesar Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. So let's get into the line history, and for the first time, pull up the action where the cash is. We don't use it in NHL, but we'll use it here. In this one, I have moved 2 ways, and so has Mikey M. Let me just pull up the his action from our Tuesday show. So I moved on the under, and I didn't get a very good number, 39.5. I know it went up to 40 at one point. And I moved on the Saints money line at minus 120. Then Mikey moved on the first half under 20 at minus 105. And the Saints team total under 20.5. So that didn't really correlate with my action, but sort of did because I am on the under. We see the market moving towards Nollins here, and that's not because at this point, I mean, I've believed that Trevor Lawrence was playing the whole time. There was never a spot when I didn't think so. I think this is just sort of sharp cash, but there has been 4 cents of buyback at 11:37. This moved to -2, -114. Now it's -2 at -110 at Pinnacle. But if you want the +2, that's at even money. Take a look at the total here in this one. Please show me 39.5s across the board. Don't show me 40s. 40.5s now. Fuck. God damn it. That's such a better number. I mean, that 23-17 final score is so in the cards. Ugh. Should have waited. So this was down to 39.5. This was down to 39.5 at 11 this morning. Jesus. I mean,
Is Lawrence questionable here? Is he going? Is he good?
Yeah, he's been questionable all week. But yeah, he's going. Sky Dragon took Jacksonville +3, hated it, bet more on Nola -1. Yeah, but Sharpie saying on Tuesday show, he said the line dropped 2 points. The Saints said all the money was on them. That's just because it was all based on injury, not based on market. It was all based on there was a feeling that Jacksonville, that Lawrence might not be there, and then when they saw that he was fine or not fine, but going to go, then there was 2-point drop. So it wasn't based on cash for me here. Sammy Comer's on the Saints money line -126 and first half under 20. Mike EM says it's a common knee injury with minimal impact to performance, and most guys play through it. Let's get over to the cash flow here. 63% of the tickets and 75% of the cash on the Saints. I mean, this is just situational. I mean, it's a very difficult spot for the Jags, I find. 78% of the tickets and 89% of cash on the under. It's gone up to 40.5. I'm very nervous. Brian Watson said Rourke added to the roster this morning. I like that. Rocco Rogers on Saints money line as well. Kamara over 29.5 receiving yards. Rashid Shaheed longest reception over 18.5 yards. So also we have Gogster coming off a easy casher, no sweat casher in the last Thursday nighter, and he'll be breaking down all the Thursday nighters with us. The Jaguars coming off their third straight win. You know, they're playing very well, and they played great over in the UK, and then they came back and easily beat the Colts, and they're winning football games, but this offense is very mediocre. Don't get, transfixed by Lawrence and Etienne. They're 20th in points per play. Their defense, they lead with 15 takeaways right now, but we talked about Walker Little being out with the MCL sprain, and now Scherf is questionable to play. And those are your best two, offensive linemen. So, they also lose their starting quarterback, Tyson Campbell, to a hamstring issue. He's unlikely to play tonight. The Saints coming off a 2013 loss at Houston. They put up 13 points, but they outgained the Texans 430 to 297. Derek Carr threw for 353 yards. I mean, they're 0 for 3 in the red zone. They're 28th in the league in the red zone. Yeah, it's a fucking problem. It's a serious problem here. And, Groupie missing field goals and the injuries to their offensive line. The fact that both offensive line are so wounded is the reason why I think they're going to have, I think the under is very much in play. But at this point, seeing all the money on the under and it going from 39.5 to 40.5, I certainly wouldn't bet it now. So at this point, you have Hurst and Ramczyk hurt. And Landon Young, who helps, he's like the swing tackle. He's been out last 2 games at Pro Bowl or with a hip injury. And then Pro Bowler Andrews Pete is, was active last game, but hurt his groin and didn't play. He's available as a last resort. So I hope he's going to be there tonight. Major Tom says, can't trust Carr. I hear you, but Saints at home against a Jaguars team that feels good about themselves, that hasn't lost on the road yet. I just find this a great spot. Take it away, Gogster. Jaguars, Saints.
Yeah, great breakdown, Jimmy. I'm looking at this Jaguars team, and they haven't actually played a true road game. Wait till they have to play outdoors, guys. They haven't played outdoors yet. They played Indianapolis week 1 at home or at Indy, and then they played Buffalo out in London town there, and every other game's been at home. So, going to New Orleans here, they're coming off that bad loss, 20-13. Then they just beat the living snot out of the Patriots, 34-0. Lost to Tampa Bay, 26-9. A tough loss to Green Bay. What I'm going to do here, I'm thinking, is I'm going to take a Saints plus 3.5 or 4.5. That's been my question here. I'm going to go 4.5, Jim, and I'm going to tease it to the under here too. I don't think Jacksonville's going to be able to score here, to be honest. I think the Saints defense, I've been watching it. They got a really good defense. And I think that's going to hurt. That's going to be tough for Jacksonville after playing they're over in London there for a couple games. They came back and beat Indy again. So they've had a really mediocre schedule, in my opinion, there, Jacksonville. I think this is going to be a tough spot for them to score. So I'm going to take the under. I haven't got the line yet, Jimmy. I'm still trying to fish around for it. But I'm going to take the Saints plus 4.5. And I'm going to take the under. See, in their score, like I said, I don't see Jacksonville scoring more than 17 points. I don't see the Saints scoring in the 30s. So 27-17 max. That's 44. So I'd go 47.5. What's that? That's still too high. There you go. I'll take under 45.5, Jimmy, and plus 4.5 on the Saints. That's minus 120. That's what I'm going to do here. I didn't exactly have any strong plays coming into this game, but as you're talking and breaking it down, Saints should have a bounce back here at home. Finally have a home game. They played 3 of the last 4 on the road, which is not easy. You start the season. This should be a good bounce back for the Saints, who are right there in their standings in their division. They're 3-3, but the Falcons and the Bucs are 3-2. So this is a big game for the Saints, and I think they're going to take care of business.
I do too. Don Play says, would you parlay the Saints money line with the under here? No, I would not. Not when it goes from 39.5 to 40.5. I would not do that.
And I was almost, Jimmy, trying to make a case to tease it to the over, just because we're getting a little more, I'm getting some, get it to 30.5. But I'm really worried about Jacksonville scoring here on the road on a short week. That's my biggest concern. So maybe a Jacksonville team total under would make some sense as well. If it's, anything under 17.5, I don't see them getting over 17 points here, Jacksonville. So that could be another play I might even tweet out if I can get the team total under on the Jags.
tag me and we'll add it to your action. Nate Dogg said his car healthy. I mean, threw for 353 yards with the shoulder issues last week. And then, question Londo saying, I don't want to be on the Saints. They're too public for me. I would bet heavily that the 63% of the tickets will be under that 60% threshold come kickoff. The public's going to come in. The rec players are going to come in and bet the Jags. So, but you're right. It is public right now. 63% of tickets, 75% of cash on Jacksonville. So Jacksonville is 37% of the tickets, but just 25% of the cash.
Sorry to cut you off there, brother. I'm going to do a little. I'm going to change this up. I haven't bet it yet. I'm going to take. What are the Saints on the money line? What's the Saints on the money line?
Well,
that's where I'm going to look here. I'm just going to take the Saints on the money line here, and I'm going to take the Jaguars team total under 19.5. I'm seeing minus 112. If anyone else can get better in the chat, that'd be great. But I'm going to take the Jags under 19.5, minus 112, and I'm going to take the Saints on the money line.
All right, Saints money line right now minus 131 at Pinnacle. And the team total under 19.5 is plus 107 at Pinnacle.
I'm going to take it. I don't.
Okay.
I really think this Saints defense is coming to play, and you got the Jags on a short week. Come on, they're finally playing a good defense too here.
Jags team total under 19.5 at plus 107, and the Saints money line at minus 131 for Mr. Gogster. Mr. Gogster had a spectacular year last year in our NFL Pub, and he got off the year with a terrible, terrible start on week one. So we're going to get you back. I know that you haven't been, but we'll get you back. I'll be in touch with you and get you back.
Especially with golf season coming to an end, Jim. I'll be hunkering down as you know, as a Canadian. So I'll love to jump on.
I love it. I love it. And there's Matty Ice in the house, starting taint play of the day here. And I love it. I love it. Okay, so Gogster's on the Saints under 45.5 and the Saints plus 4.5. That's a minus 120.
No, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut that, Jim. Yeah, I'm going to cut that. I'm just going to go straight up money line on the Saints, and I'm going to take that. Sorry. And the under team total 19.5 on the Jags.
All right. Yeah. That is locked in right now. Locked in. Gogster, a couple things here. Smooth Bossy gave us Etienne over 19.5 receiving yards. Kamara over rushing receiving 83.5. That was from our guy Smooth Bossy. Londo's on the Jags, fading the Saints. Has got it back Lawrence and the better team. Billy Friedrichs says Saints money line minus 138 at Bookmaker, so it's clearly moving in that direction. DC Capper says Jacksonville will score more than 17 points. Well, hopefully then it's just 18.
Oh, that's right.
And Jeffrey Moore says that, and this is an option for you, Drew. Would you rather have the under 20? 20 is a pretty common number. That's at the under 20 team total is at 365. Let's see that right now. It's
under minus 130, 130-ish, and it probably will be.
It is oh God, no, it's hugely. No, you look. Oh, sorry, you're talking about the 19.5 was minus 110. Okay, sorry, my bad. I thought you meant the under 20. The 365, Jeffrey, has the under 19.5 at minus 145. Sorry, under 19.5 at minus 110, under 20.5 minus 145. So if we built to 20 in that, it would be costly. Okay, Sammy Comer has Hill first touchdown at plus 1,500. Rem Mo says, does your guest ever bet AHL? He bets it all the time. So
Rem Most, oh yeah, buddy. We got the home opener Saturday night here in Belleville. Laval Belleville. I'll be there live and direct. So I'm going to get an idea of what Belleville has. They got this Clevin guy, Jimmy, on the back end defenseman. He's just been a big bruiser. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Just laid somebody out last week in Lehigh. So have some AHL picks coming down the wire here, guys. Check me out, Eagle47_.
Wine time is on the over 40. Johnny Gunn's on the total field goals over 3.5 at plus 125. And we will have a live stream right here hosted by Mikey M, star of his brand new show. Jose, could you please play the preview of our brand new show hosted by Mikey M starting on Monday? If you could drop that for us quickly right now.
Get your cocktails about the game script. A huge victory. We get on these streams and we put our heads together. Get your balls, put them on the table. We are live.
new show starting on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Finally, we got that late night, or not late night, but last call show right before all the action that we've wanted for so bad. So that'll be Monday to Friday, starting this Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And thank you, Mr. Gogster, my man. Please follow Gogster on Twitter. We love him very, very much. Very, very much. His Twitter handle at EGO47_. Let's move on. And DC Capper says Jimmy Jackson will score at least 20 points. I thought it was 17, DC. I thought it was 17. But God bless you, DC. It's okay to be on the other side of each other. You know, it's part of the fun. Shouldn't upset anybody. But you did change that from 17 to 20. Which one is it, DC? Let's get into MLB. Let's get into MLB right now and bring on the star of Say Hey Plays of the day to help guide us through this Game 3 NLCS. Please welcome Jose Bouquett to the show. Jose, how are you, my friend?
Excited. Good times ahead. 2 good baseball games. Obviously, the Phillies are the rah-rah talk of the town, but we saw our comrade Razor Sharp Hicks is on the Diamondbacks today, so exciting game to talk about, I'm sure.
Very exciting. It's going to become more exciting because we have a ringer that we are bringing in, star of the Balking Dead. Please welcome Sharpie to the show. Sharpie, how are you?
Can't complain, bro. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's every fucking day is the same in this house, bro. It's time to make money.
I love it. I love it. Let's get right to work. Sammy Comer says Phillies -135 to -119. That's not good. Oh, there was questions about why would this be happening. And for me, you guys have known, I've said it for months, and it hasn't helped my bankroll. But I'm a huge believer in Brandon Pfaadt, and he finally showed everybody why against the Dodgers. And the Diamondbacks are huge believers in Brandon Pfaadt. So to me, it's all about Pfaadt. But let's and if you study his numbers, you'd be like, wow, I don't get it. But if you study what people have been saying about him for the last couple of years, and maybe you would then. Let's break this down here, and we will start with Game 3. Philadelphia up 2-0, 90-win Philadelphia Philly team, which is 41-40 on the road this year. Diamondbacks just 84-78, and we're only 5 games over 500 at home. We're at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. So first off, is the Diamondback roof open here, and they haven't been letting us know for these playoff games for whatever reason on MLB.com. Do they? And they're not. Oh yes, they are letting us know. So it is closed. It is closed here today, but it's going to be open on Friday and, if necessary, Saturday. So that's key information for you guys to remember. So it's closed here tonight, and it will be open on Friday and Saturday. Let's get into the line history here right now for this one. Move over to MLB, and let's break it down with Jose and Sharpie here with the Suarez versus Pfaadt. Move over to the Pinnacle line, and Pinnacle has Philadelphia at -120. Now, they opened up at -124, so it hasn't been a huge move. The initial move was right to Philly. Philly got up to -132 yesterday morning, -132, and then they got down to -118. There has been 2 cents of buyback, so they're at -120. So a 4-cent move towards the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's take a look from the total scenario here right now. We are looking at a 9. We're looking at a 9. There's been very little movement on this. It's gone 2 cents towards the over. Now, I'm on the first 5 under here. I'm on the first 5 under, and that was at 5, and it was slightly juiced to the under. And there's been no movement here. There's been a little bit of movement. It opened up at -114 to the under, went down to -110. It's back at -114 right now. So let's go over to the cash flow here for this one. And we have 32% of the tickets and 55% of the cash on the Arizona Diamondbacks. We've also heard that Razor Sharp Picks is on these Arizona Diamondbacks. From a total scenario, we have 30% of the tickets on the under and 44% of the cash on the under. Reclaim James, very excited to see you, Jose, in the chat. We have Suarez going up against Pfaadt here. Suarez, the lefty, who is tough as nails. I've heard some breakdowns on why he's so tough from you guys. from Jose and from Sharpie, and I've become a big fan of his. 4-6, 4.18 ERA, 1.42 WHIP on the season. On the road, he was excellent. 3-3, 2.75 ERA, 1.42 WHIP. Allowed 4 home runs on the road over 59 innings. In the playoffs, he started twice. He's gone 8 2/3. He's allowed 1 earned run, 6 Ks, and just walked 1 batter. His last start was against the Braves. 5 innings, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 2 Ks. It was a 3-1 win at home, and it was monstrous. He faced these Diamondbacks twice this year. He faced them on May 24th, and he got hit hard by them. He got off to a bad start. That was his 3rd start of the year, and he didn't look very good off the hop. 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 Ks, 1 walk, and a jack. Then he faced them again at Arizona on June 14th, and he was excellent. 7 innings, didn't allow a run, 7 Ks, 2 walks. Brandon Pfaadt, on the other hand, ugly numbers, 3-9, 5.72 ERA, 1.41 WHIP. Gifted Cartel and I went back and forth on one show where I was saying, look, Pfaadt is such a good pitcher. He's better than his numbers indicate, and we can make so much money off him. And then he simply told me that Pfaadt was trash, and then Pfaadt got lit up that night. And he was right. But I think I will be right in the long run. At home, he was bad this year, 6.46 ERA, 1.63 WHIP. He started 2 playoff games. He's gone 7 innings. He's allowed 3 runs, 1 homer, 6 Ks, and 1 walk. But that last start, October 11th, versus the Dodgers was very impressive. 4 1/3, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 Ks, no walks, and a 4-2 win at home versus the Dodgers. Let's get to work right now. Sharpie, we'll start with you in Phillies Diamondbacks. We'll start with Jose in Astros Rangers. Sharpie, take it away. What is your plan of action? I'm on the first 5 under 5. What's Sharpie going to do? Phillies Diamondbacks, take it away.
I'm kind of with you, but kind of not in a way, as in I think Brandon Pfaadt's a fucking fat ass and about to get lit the fuck up at the end of the day. He ain't ready for these type of spots, and LaBello ain't going to let him go. 4.1 innings versus solid pitched baseball versus the Dodgers, and they still yanked him? Nah, bro. At the end of the day, LaBello's shown that he's been a dumbass at the end of it. He put in Mantiply in the last game. Oh, I got to freaking mute. Sorry. He put a Mantiply, guys, in a lefty spot where it was like, you need to get one out. But he didn't think about the rest if he didn't get him out. And it ended up costing him a game that was 2-0, ended up getting blown open. I do not trust this Arizona manager. He don't know what he's doing. And this Arizona team showed us in Philadelphia, they ain't ready for this moment. They were not that patient Arizona team we watched all year. They were that team we watched the last week of baseball when they had the fucking win. They swung at everything, and they made it into the playoffs by losing a game. That's how they got into the playoffs. They were struggling. They weren't looking like the Arizona Diamondbacks. And that's exactly who they look like in Philadelphia. This moment's just too big for them, too big for the coach, too big for the team. And if it's too big for the coach, it's a big freaking problem. And now we get into the other side, Ranger Suarez. Are you kidding me? There's 2 guys in this playoffs right now with at least 23 innings pitched with a 1.6 ERA or less. And they're number 3s on some of these teams. Christian Javier and Ranger Suarez have been nothing but fucking elite when they step into the playoffs, guys. Ranger Suarez has pitched solid 5 innings in a World Series game versus the almighty Astros who crushed lefties. Oh, the Braves back-to-back their ass last week. Oh, and last year again, just in case. This dude shows the fuck up. And Brandon Pfaadt throws his fastball combo 65% of the time if you look at it. They're going to sit dead red, and they're going to do what they did to Gallen, and they're going to do what they did to fucking Kelly, and they're going to make him pay for his mistakes. And he's going to throw mistakes. He's a kid, bro, in a spot that is too big for his britches. Now, did he pitch well versus the Dodgers? Yes. Did everybody pitch well versus the Dodgers? Yes. The Dodgers had a 5-day break, and like most of those teams, none of them hit. It's a clear disadvantage to have a 5-day fucking break. So I'm not going to put nothing on what Brandon Pfaadt did last game. Cool. You held down a Dodgers team that was down 2-0 and couldn't hit the broadside of a barn right now. So, now we got the hottest team in baseball who's out homering their teams damn near 3-4 to 1 right now. We've got home runs win in the playoffs. It's a proven factor. If you out homer your team in the last 2 years, you are 63-10. Arizona don't hit home runs. 1 through fucking 9 on this lineup is deadly. I want to back Ranger. I want to fade Pfaadt, and I did it 2 ways. I took the Phillies first 3 minus 125. I don't know how they're going to let Ranger go. You know, do they let him go 2 times through the lineup, 3 times? I don't want to mess around with that. This coach on the other side of this coach for the freaking Phillies, He's got a game plan, and in any given freaking time, he will use his 7th, 8th, 9th inning guy in the keyest situations of the game. He ain't waiting until the 9th. He ain't waiting until the 8th. If Ranger gets in fucking trouble, which I like your under 5, he's going to a big fucking hog in the bullpen to shut it down and keep that game still intact. So, love that under first 5 because I don't think they let Fat go. I think they let him go one time through the lineup, and if they hit him, they're not seeing him 2 times through the lineup. They've already showed they wouldn't let him go 3 times when he was fucking humming. So I have a full unit also on Brandon Pfatt's outs under 11.5 at plus 105. It's now at a minus 105. But at the end of the day, I do not think they let this guy go today. They're down 0-2 in a must-win spot.
Under 11.5 outs. What was the juice?
Plus 105.
Plus 105 for Sharpie. Sharpie on the Phillies first 3 minus 125 fought under 11.5 outs at plus 105. And the taint play of the day has come in. Philly, Arizona, first 5 under 5 at minus 115. That was exactly the line that I got as well. I could have got 3 cents less if I put in a pinnacle, but I sent it in at minus 115. So we have it in. The first 5 under 5 is the taint play today. It's been a while since we've seen taint. Nice to have him back in action.
Oh shit! I'm in the back. My bad.
Oh, we want you in the back.
I was like,
right here.
I saw the taint, bro, and I went to town, dog. That my bad.
No, we believe in that. We believe in that very much. Let's hear what Jose has to say about this spot here. Philadelphia Phillies at Arizona Diamondbacks. We have the Venezuelan monster Ranger Suarez on the bump. The market move towards the Diamondbacks slightly. And what did we have when did we go over to? Sorry, we must have gone over to the cash here. 30% of the tickets, 44% of the cash on the under, and 32% of tickets, 55% of cash on the Diamondbacks. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I mean, if the Diamondbacks are going to win a game, it's probably going to be this one, just based off coming back home. Home crowd's very into it. The Phillies finally not at the bank, all that stuff. I do believe Pfatt's going to pitch a good game here, or pitch at least like a good 3-4 innings, whatever, because Sharpie's right. He's not going to go very deep, and the Diamondbacks bullpen has been pretty good this year. Well, I should say this postseason, not even this year, but I just can't get there to back it. I want to back the Diamondbacks, but I don't have the gall because the Phillies have been just kind of steamrolling, and they're in the driver's seat right now. So I'm excited to watch it, but I'll ride with the first 5 under. I bet it first 5 under minus 115 for me as well. I think Pfaadt pitches well here, and Sharpie said this before in the past, and he's dead on about it. Ranger Suarez doesn't give a fuck about pitching on the road. This man's Venezuelan. He's pitched in the dirty streets of Caracas. That's what that is, and I'm sure he'll be fine from this road crowd as well. So the real issue is that Rangers gotten touched up against the Diamondbacks this season. That's the part that worries.
Not in his last start. I mean, those were just the first 3 starts of the year where he looked bad.
Well, I have his last start being there we go. Let me double check because I'm on the right person. Yeah, Ranger on the 28th or 29th of August, 3 2/3, 5 hits, 6 runs, only 2 of them earned. But yeah, so and then I had this other one being on whatever the 6th month is, the 12th there. And that was 4 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned there as well. So that's a concern, but I think he's a postseason demon, just kind of like how Urquidy and Javier are as well. Whenever the postseason lights come on, they tend to pitch better. So I want the first 5 under 5 with you guys too.
Sorry, how did I screw that up? I thought I had him. So I don't know what. So I don't have those numbers at all, Jose. He faced Arizona. Are you sure you're looking at Arizona?
Yeah.
He faced Arizona on May 24th.
No, I'm looking on Fangraphs. Yeah.
Oh, that makes no. Can somebody else? Okay, I'm
looking on Fangraphs right now. I think you got your years mixed up. Well, what was the last day? Yeah,
20.
He faced Arizona on May 24th this year.
Yeah,
5 earned runs in 5 innings. And then he faced them in Arizona on June 14th, and he shut them down. He looked excellent.
I was on 2022. Sharpie.
Yeah, I was
go.
like, bro, you got your years mixed.
All right, well, good. Even better. It makes me feel better about my under.
Okay, that scared me. Okay, so first 5 under 5. It's available right now, minus 114 at Pinnacle. So Taint play today on the first 5 under 5. I'm on the first 5 under 5. Sharpie's on Phillies first 3 and fought under 11.5 outs. Looking here at the chat, a lot of every side is being backed here. You got Philly Eagle Flyer reclaim James liking the Phillies. You have BJ saying Arizona's ass shouldn't even be here. Matty Ice saying Philly in the under 9.5 is the play if you can get it at your book. Same game. Robert Franklin on the over 9 here. We already heard Razor on the Diamondbacks. Robert Franklin on Philly run line. Billy Friedrich on Walker over 1.5 bases at plus 141. Taint play today, as I said, is that first 5 under. And Philly Eagle Flyer on the Phillies minus 2.5. Sky Dragon says never count out a team until you see them play at home. Billy Friedrich says Suarez will get touched, and I want that cat says Suarez is elite. So it's all over the map here. Nasty Nate on the Phillies and Billy Friedrich sprinkling on the Arizona series price at plus 615. And Londo is on Arizona with Razor here.
Before we head to the next game real quick, something about you brought up about these Venezuelan and these pitchers, bro, that I say it all the time. These guys come from a place, bro, where they struggle to get a meal, where they're worried about what's going to happen to their family. They come over here and they get to pitch a baseball. Did you see one drop of sweat fall off of Javier last night, bro? Not a fucking dot on him. These guys have had to live through real fucking trauma in their lives. Pitching a baseball in front of 40,000 people is fucking nothing. That's been my theory to this. And you just see these guys from other countries just show up and fucking have elite postseasons.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love the idea. I love the breakdown. I love it. All right, let's move on to game 2 here. 8:03 p.m. Eastern, the ALCS game 4. Texas leading the series 2-1. Astros 90 wins in the regular season were 21 games over 500 on the road. They were only 18 games over 500 on the season. Great road baseball team. Rangers 19 games over 500 at home. They were only 18 games over 500 on the season. Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. We have Urquidy going up against Andrew Heaney. And we expect, I imagine, the roof to be open. What's the weather like there, Jose? Is it open or is it hot still?
It's nice as fuck, but they barely play that shit with the roof open. I'd be pretty surprised. I think I saw a stat they've played literally 3 games with that thing open. So it'd be nice.
If it starts under 85 Fahrenheit, though, they usually leave it open. I wonder if anybody in the chat has a sense of that. Weather-wise, they have that rule. So that would, under the rule, it would be open tonight and closed tomorrow night.
It's fine. It's not hot as balls here in Texas. It's been refreshing for a change.
But they don't think it's going to be open at in Ballpark Pal. So maybe it's just not going to be open. Minus 3% homers, minus 17% doubles and triples. So Ballpark says that Ballpark Pal doesn't expect it to be open. Okay, so let's get into the line history here for this one. This total is sitting at 9.5 right now. It's minus 114 to the under. That's where it opened. So there's been no movement on the total. And when we get to the money line for this one, we have Heaney and the Rangers at minus 109. They opened up minus 112. So we've had 3 cents move in the opposite direction. So let's get over to the cash flow then for this spot. We have 59% of the tickets and 74% of the cash on the Astros, 45% of the tickets and 73% cash on the under. Neither line is moving. Urquidy 3-3, 5.29 ERA, 1.43 WHIP this year. His last start, October 11th at Minnesota. He went 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs. There were solo shots, 6 Ks, 1 walk, and a 3-2 win at Minnesota. And he has not faced the Rangers once all year. On the road, he was better than he was at home. 2-1, 4.32 ERA. He only allowed 1 home run over 27 and a third. It was just the K to walk ratio that's been hurting him all year. Hurt him overall, hurt him at home, hurt him on the road. On the road, 15 strikeouts, 14 walks. Andrew Heaney on the other side, 10-6, 4.15 ERA, 1.38 WHIP. His last start, October 7th. We have to go back 12 days. A 3-2 win at the Orioles, 3 2/3. He went 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 K, 1 walk. At home, he was 7-3 this year with a 4.07 ERA. That's the situation. Jose, we start with you, a Texas battle, and you are in that state. Take it away.
Yeah, I've been really not betting the other series as much, and I've been primarily focusing on this series because it's been kind of easy. You know, the Astros have just been shit on at home the whole year. So if you bet the Rangers in the first game, huzzah. But yesterday was pretty easy Astros money. I did bet the under, and of course it went over. That was annoying. But dogs and under have been my mantra kind of this whole postseason. It's been okay so far, and I'm on the Astros here again. Again, better road team. I just don't think they're fazed by this deficit. They've been through this shit plenty of times before, and the real question is what is Andrew Heaney going to give us? Because shockingly enough, Andrew Heaney has pitched pretty well against the Astros, you know, well enough for me to be at least a little concerned. 4 starts. His first 2 were dominant. 5 innings shut both times, 2 hits, 3 hits. Then he saw him a third and a fourth time, and it was 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and 5 4 2/3, 3 earned runs. So it was okay. And I'm sure if he gave them that today, that would be great. But I doubt he goes 5 innings. I expected it to be 3 innings, and then who knows? We'll get like Dane Dunning or something like that. Because Max Scherzer went pretty far yesterday. I was pretty shocked by that. And I think just because the game was close, it wasn't close. They didn't put any of those other guys in there, thinking that they're probably going to have to do it again today. So I'm expecting another starter behind Heaney. I'm sure Sharpie knows whose it is because they've done this before. I don't know. Sharpie is the pulse of the nation right there. But I ultimately lean at Astros here again, and I'm going to be on the under yet again here. So I'm going to double check what I got on them real quick, but I believe in the Astros to tie it up here. Astros money line at -101 and the under 9.5 at -115. It's going to be a fun game, but this is going to be a series of pitching, bullpen, and managing. And we've got 2 good managers going at it here, so it's going to be fun to watch.
And the best lines available right now, Astros +101 at Pinnacle and the under 9.5 -113 at Heritage. Let's hear what Sharpie has to say about this one. Take it away, Sharpie. Astros, Rangers, Globe Life.
Well, we got 2 guys who probably don't really belong pitching and starting today. Well, I don't want to fucking back really either one of them realistically. Live betting purposes, I've been waiting for the Astros to get the lead like yesterday, and I'll find a way to back them. We have a clear-cut advantage when it comes to bullpens. I get it. Bruce Bochy's a great coach. He has no fucking bullpen, bro. Watch that whole game yesterday. 1 reliever came out and all starters, bro. Like, nah, bro, that's going to cost you at the end of the day. And we know what these Astros relievers have done. I believe they've only allowed 2 runs this postseason. Presley in 7 save opportunities in his whole career in the postseason hasn't ever blown a save. You get to that 6, 7, 8, 9, bro. You back the fucking Astros live personally, and that's the way I'm going to look at it there. Now, how I did get into this game is I went right back to the way I bet fat, but I'm taking this with Heaney, and I actually love it better. I've got Heaney's outs under 11.5 at +120. +120. Plus monies. Yeah. So have you watched these games? Yes or no? Who's the first guy up in the bullpen every time a starter's got in trouble? Andrew fucking Heaney. This guy hasn't pitched in a game since Jimmy said was October 7th. At the end of the day, he's not built up to go 4, 5, 6 innings. If anything, 1 time through the lineup, and on to Dunning probably is who I expect to see after that. And yeah, I just think you're not going 4.5. You're not going 4. So at the end of the day, I thought the easiest bet was to fade Heaney's outs in this situation, and that's where I got in.
Heaney under 11.5 outs at +120.
Quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, too, I have a problem backing her Tweety. Like, I know he's been good. I get it, bro. But these Texas Rangers in the first 2 games, they weren't swinging and missing when they were making contact, and it was either loud outs or whatnot. So if you ask Maldonado before the series started, they asked him, who is the key? What is the X factor in this series? And you know who he said? He said, Jose Urquidy. That's who he said. And Maldonado's got enough fucking cojones to say that this guy was going to be the X factor in this series. And look what happens. It's the X factor game right here where they could tie it up 2-2. And God, if they do, bro, these Rangers may be done. So Maldi fucking trusts the shit out of this guy. We know what Dusty does, and he gonna listen to Maldi. So I just think there's clear-cut advantages with the catcher, with the bullpen. Like, I could not put my money on the Rangers at all.
Yeah, there's a ton of volatility in this one, but I just don't feel like I have an angle other than trusting the Astros. That's about it. That's about it. But I'm still hesitant at this point. Jose on the Astros plus 101, the under 9.5 minus 113. Sharpie on Heaney under 11.5 outs, a plus 120. I like all of the looks here from you guys. Looking at the chat right now, Dante Mack all in on the Rangers. Mike M says, look at how the adjusted line jumps from 3.5 to 4. Bookies concerned Houston wins by 3 or 4 runs, says Mikey. Jeffrey Moore says, I actually like Heaney at least 4 allowed hits at minus 103. Wine Time likes the Rangers to take care of business. Londo liking the Rangers. Sammy Culmer on the Astros. Rocco Rogers saying Abreu allowed his first run in 32 innings last night. Andre says Astros have won outright 3 games on the road against a division opponent who started lefty this year. All 3 came against the Rangers. 2 of those 3 came against Heaney starts, even though Heaney looked good. So that is the situation. Jake Burns on the first 5 team total over 2.5 for the Astros. And Billy Friedrich on the Astros at plus money. Nate Dogg leaning towards Houston at plus money. Wine Time Sports is on the Rangers. Moneyline says he's bet the Rangers every single game of this postseason and won't stop now. Billy Friedrich says the Suarez K prop is set at 3. And that is where we stand. Markel on, that's it. Markel on Philly first 5. So that is where we stand here on MLB. Thank you, Sharpie, for joining us, my man. Please follow Sharpie on Twitter at SharpieBets. Sharpie, what's going on for you this weekend? Can you join us again tomorrow?
Yeah, bro, I'm down to join every day, bro. And I put my plays out in the chat. I'm the odds bunch. If you don't know, you should know. And shout out to everybody who tunes into my videos that I do over there. Because even if I talk baseball with you, I could go make a video and still get 400 views. So appreciate everybody that does tune in and tails me. Because at the end of the day, money's not fucking easy to come by, bro. And we got to protect that shit like it's fucking the last thing there is, guys. Because guess what? Money does make you happy. Don't listen to nobody who says, oh, money doesn't matter. Nah, fuck that shit. You tell me a rich person who's not happy, and I'll tell you he's getting his wife fucked by the pool man. So until next time, stay solid, fellas.
There he is, Sharpie Bets. Jose, we have college football for us to cap. Do you want to stick around with me while we do it?
Sure.
Okay, let's get to work. Head over to college football here. And we have 2 very, very interesting games that I like a lot. One in the American Conference, one in the Sun Belt. Let's get to work here. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Rice. We're starting with Rice Owls at Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Jose, if we could do a quick flip there. Rice Owls 3-3, 1-1 in conference against Tulsa Golden Hurricane, 3-3, also 1-1 in conference. We're at Chapman Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 75 Fahrenheit, sunny, 6 miles per hour is the weather. Let's get into the line history here for this one. I've yet to move on these 2 games, seeing if something comes out with us breaking it all down together. So I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. We'll start with the line history here over at Pinnacle and Sharp and Marshall sitting at plus 3.5 at minus 106. So this opened up at 4 at minus 108, and it dropped to 3. About 18 hours after it was initially opened up. Then at 3, it only lasted there for about an hour and 17 minutes, moved to 3.5, which is where it stayed. When it first moved to 3.5, that was juiced towards Marshall at minus 115. It's come down. You could have got Marshall plus 3.5 at even money on Tuesday. Then it jumped all the way up to 4.5. That move was short-lived, lasted for about 2.5 hours before it came down to 3.5, which is where it stayed. This 3.5 right now is a pick'em, and don't expect any movement at this point here. From a total perspective, let's move over here. From a total perspective, we're sitting at, oh fuck, I think I fucked that all up. I just did Rice. Jesus, I just did James Madison Marshall. God damn it. Sorry, you guys. Sorry, a lot of numbers. I did records all day yesterday for a 12-hour shift, and I'm still messed up over it. Let's go back to this. So Tulsa. So both spreads are at 3.5, and I apologize to all of you for just giving you James Madison Marshall. That's the game I'm most excited about. But Tulsa opening up at -2.5, quickly moved to 3, and then moved to 3.5, back to 3.5. So Tulsa has gone 1 full point there, 1 full point. And again, I apologize for giving you the wrong line history. From a total side of things, this total is sitting at 58. Opened at 57.5 and is up to 58. Got up to 58.5, back at 58. So we have a slight move to the over and a real move to Tulsa. Let's get over to the cash flow then here on this one. Let's move over to NCAAF. And we have 26% of the tickets are on Rice and 49% of the cash, which is really interesting. And we'll break that all down. 72% of the tickets, 74% cash on the over. It's not really moved heavily towards the over. We have Harold Williams on Tulsa. Mike M says, tough spot for Rice tonight. Like Tulsa to win first half and full game over there. So let's break this down. Blue numbers moving over at Keeneland for race 1, 2, 3, 4 for our guy Blue numbers. So both teams come in off a bye week. Rice comes in off their second loss in 3 games, 38-31 at home to UConn as 10-point favorites. It's been a really fascinating year for Rice. They're sort of, on the map for the first time in a long time. And it's JT Daniels. We saw him, not succeed at USC and Georgia. And now he's found a home here at Rice. And they're averaging 316.2 yards a game through the air. And CMC's brother, Luke McCaffrey, has caught 514 of those yards and 6 touchdowns. Rice defense has been very, very weak. They surrendered 597 yards against USF. UConn, we know how weak UConn's offense is. They allowed 6.5 yards per play against UConn. That's a problem. Tulsa had very few expectations, coming into this year, first year with Kevin Wilson. They had their 2-game winning streak snapped in 2017 loss at FAU as 3-point dogs. And we don't know who's going to be at quarterback. And we also, don't know how long they're going to be at quarterback either, because Cardell Williams got pulled. So, he didn't start week 1, but he got pulled in that last game. And Braylon Braxton looked good, and he hadn't started since week 1. And then it's hard to judge the Hurricanes defense if you look at the year-long stats because of games against Washington, Oklahoma. But against everyone else, they've been strong. I think this move towards Tulsa makes a ton of sense, but I don't want them over a field goal at this point. I think that Rice's deficiencies defensively are a problem, but not knowing exactly who's going to be at quarterback makes it pretty hard for me to fully game script. Why don't you see what they're saying in the chat here, Jose, so we can decide if there's a spot for us to move on in this one.
Well, Andre here likes Rice's passing game. He's going to be saying too strong for Tulsa there. Shout out to Wine Time Sports here. You moved on Rice plus 3.5. Expecting JT Daniels, if that's his name, I believe, to have a good game here. So shout out to you there. There's a lot of JMU love as well. But Harold Williams taking Tulsa. Mr. Mike M there. Tough spot for Rice, like Tulsa Kings to win first half and full game there as well. So pretty kind of split there, but some love for Tulsa.
I don't. I think my uncomfort at quarterback for Tulsa, I think that we all expect Braylon Braxton to come in. He looked pretty good in that short period of time in that last game. But he's going to be looking over his shoulder the whole time for Cardell, and it's just not a spot I want. And I don't want to trust Rice's defense, and I don't want to go up against this market move. So I guess if you put it all together, I can't trust Rice's defense, but I think I can trust Tulsa's. And again, you can't look at the year-long numbers. We have 72% of tickets, 73% of cash on the over. I don't. Oh, Raymond Reichert, I'm going to be on the Seahawks Survivor. No question about it. Yeah, I don't like them to cover, but I'll be on them to bounce back and get a win. I guess the more we talk about this, then there has to be an expectation that Rice's defense can look better against these two quarterbacks that don't have any kind of rhythm. And then, Rice playing all these games towards the over would, have people on it. This is now at 58. It's moved a half point with 73% of the tickets on it. I guess if I do like Tulsa at home and I trust Tulsa's market move towards them, but I don't want over 3, then I would take the under in this game. I think it's too high. Everybody betting the over because of Rice's poor defense. So I think that's where I've ended up at. Rice, Tulsa, under. I mean, only moving a half point. And I think that this Golden Hurricane defense can play well. And, So that's going to be my plan. I plan to move on this under. I'd also like to see how high it goes, except it has dropped back, a half point. I mean, the first move of this total was towards the under. So the, Pinnacle and the books must have respected that. And then just everybody starts betting the over and they move it back up. I'm going to do that. I'm going to move on the under. That's done. Because I do like the look on Tulsa. I do like Mike's look, but I didn't get in on it in time. All right. So I'm going to be on the Rice Tulsa under. It's 58 right now. Let's move on to game 2 here. And this is the big one. James Madison Dukes, 6-0, 3-0 in the Sun Belt. I mean, last year, their first year in FBS, they go 8-3. This year, they're 6-0. It's a great story for college football. At the Marshall Thundering Herd, 4-2, 1-1 in the Sun Belt. Londo riding with me on the under. I like hearing that. Londo. We're at Jones C. Edwards Stadium in Huntington, West Virginia. 67 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 9 miles per hour. Okay, so we've heard Joey Harb on this over 49.5. He says, let it drop some more. Billy Friedrich says, JMU going to run the table. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. And I'll tell you straight up, situationally, I wanted to get on Marshall. We talked about this side movement already. We'll touch on it once again, but this total's gone from 52 down to 49.5, a 2.5 point move that does not concern Joey Harb at all. He wants it to keep going down so he can bet the over. And we're sitting at a 3.5 right now that we spoke of off the top. This opened up at 4, went down to 3, jumped up to 4.5, and it's now at 3.5. So it's sort of, all over the place. Wine Time moved on the under 50 in this one. He says, Huntington is a crazy place to play, and I expect the crowd to be going nuts, and I see a defensive battle in the trenches. This one's in Huntington, West Virginia. Last year, Marshall went to James Madison and beat the Dukes 26-12. I think that also plays into the expectation that the Dukes will be sharp here, despite having just smashed and grabbed Georgia Southern 41-13 at home. And that one, that was on my short list last week. It opened at 3.5. It moved to 6 and 6.5. And it was a mistake using Cincinnati and not James Madison. They're averaging 34.5 points per game. Jordan McLeod is the reason behind it. 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He looks very good. Very, very good. And their run defense for Marshall is the weak spot. They have a pretty good pass defense. The problem is that James Madison's run is bad. You have Kalon Black, but is he capable of running all over them? James Madison's 114th in rush success rate. And part of that you could say is just due to, how good McLeod is or how easily McLeod's running the offense. And it's the opposite for James Madison. I mean, a lot of talk about McLeod, but it's their defense that's been unbelievable. And it's their rush defense that's so good. James Madison Dukes are allowing 1.7 yards per carry. They're allowing 39 rush yards per game. And that's unbelievable. Marshall comes in off back-to-back tough road losses. They lost to NC State 48-41, 6.5-point dogs, before losing 41-24 at Georgia State. It's 2-point dogs. That was a rare winner for me last week. I had a tough week. And, Rashid Ali is the guy they rely on, So you have Marshall, great rush attack with Ali that's going to be stopped by James Madison's run defense. You have a situation here where you have the undefeated team, going out on the road against a Marshall team that's lost 2 straight. I mean, they were 4-0 before 2 tough losses. When it's all come together, Don Play says his best play today is James Madison going to win by 7-10. Jarek White on Marshall plus 3.5. If somebody gave me a free bet, a free spot, I would probably take Marshall, but I don't think. And Paco Healy already gave us Marshall early. I don't think I can actually bet Marshall. It seems like James Madison just has everything going for them, and it's going to just keep me off. And I'm okay with being off now. Having the Rice Tulsa under is going to be enough for me. Andre liking James Madison. Jose, what's going on in the chat?
A lot of love for James Madison. Andre likes James Madison money line. Rodney Barton, by the way, is a Duke, so shout out to Rodney. He said take his Dukes. Jarek liking the under there as well. We also got Billy Friedrich saying he sold a point and take JMU minus 4.5 at plus 108. Jarek White also on Marshall there as well. That one dude saying JMU can really stop the ball. Marshall predicates on running the ball, strength versus strength there. That'll probably decide the game there. You're probably right there, my man. And like you said, Wine Time moved on the under. Billy Friedrich saying the JMU run the table. I'd agree with you as well, Jimmy. I'd probably lean Marshall, home dog. Probably the biggest game on their schedule. Everyone knows JMU's the hot to talk. The Sun Belt champion that isn't going to be champion because they're too early in the FBS, whatever the rule is. So, I'd probably lean Marshall as well.
Robert Franklin says he's on the Dukes. Says watch them shut down a potent Georgia Southern team, beat Troy and USA. Both better to me than Marshall. Marshall has key defensive injuries on every level of the defense. Okay, I'm going to be off of this spot. My only move in college football today will be on the under in Rice Tulsa. I'm going to stay off this spot. I do get the under look here. If Marshall's best ability is going into the teeth of James Madison's defense, and then the same sort of deal with James Madison, the only thing Marshall is being okay at is, I guess you can't really trust Marshall's defense at all. I was about to say something positive about it, but I can't. All right, I'm off this one, but I do have action in college football, which I enjoy. So Rice Tulsa under. I'm going to move on that after the show, and then I'm going to move on those 2 additions in NHL: the Ducks first period and the under 6.5 in Calgary Buffalo. Those will be my additions. Let's review all action here on tonight's show. Viper NB gave us the Blackhawks Colorado under 6.5 and the Arizona Diamondbacks team total first 5 over 2.5. He's also on Altuve Bregman over 1.5 bases. Ron Crawford's NHL spreadsheet play today is on the Lightning, and his MLB spreadsheet play today is on Philadelphia. That's minus 125 on the Lightning, minus 118 on Philly. And then Clint started the Die Hard MMA podcast. He gave us his looks here. I've copied and pasted it. The big ones: Volkanovski and Makachev not to go the distance. The main event not to go the distance. I'm gonna pop that in the chat. This is from our guy Clint McLean, started the Die Hard MMA podcast. In NHL, a quick review. Gogster is on first period. Both teams to score plus 130 in Calgary Buffalo. I'm adding this under 6.5 at plus money. Then Gogster's on first period. Both teams to score plus 120 in Canucks Lightning. And I'm off that spot. And I hope Ragu has a great time at that game. I'm on the Leafs minus 1 at plus 117. Gogster's tied the Leafs to the over 2.5 at minus 115. And that one dude asking for a birthday pick. Happy birthday, that one dude. Happy birthday. Says, what's your best NHL bet tonight? I think that I like right now. I'm really close between the Leafs and the Kraken, and I guess I'm leaning. I guess it's the Kraken. I guess for risk reward, I guess it's the Kraken. My birthday picks have been dumb hot.
They have been. But I'll go fuck myself that one, dude. Don't worry.
It's the hottest I've ever been on any real. I don't want to talk about how many it's been in a row just because it's just not worth it. But it's dumb hot, and I would take the Kraken money line. I'd say the Kraken money line, but the Leafs is right there. But then you have to take the -1 on the Leafs, so I guess Kraken money line. Predators, Rangers, I'm off. Gogster's got no goal first 9 minutes in the Oilers, Flyers. Gogster's got the Coyotes first period at -103. Gogster's got the Kings first period. I'm on the Kings full game. I'm on the Jets full game. And I'm adding the Ducks first period. Gogster's got a money line parlay Stars, Bruins. And I love the Kraken. And then we're off the 2 late games, both Colorado and the one in San Jose. Happy birthday, that one, dude. Do it up nice, man. Happy birthday. Have yourself a great, great day. And thank you for spending part of it with us. In NFL, I went over the action here from our Tuesday show. Mikey M's on the first half under 20 and the Saints team total under 20.5. I'm on the under 39.5, which I'm very worried about with the total moving up to 40.5 and the Saints money line. I got -120. Smooth Bosky gave us Etienne over 19.5 receiving yards, Kamara over 83.5 rush and receiving. And Mr. Gogster gave us the Jags team total under 19.5 at +107 and Saints money line -131. Then in MLB, Taint play today. It's the first 5 under 5 in Philly, Arizona. Jose's on that first 5 under 5, and so am I. Sharpie's on the Phillies' first 3 and fought under 11.5 outs. Jose's on the Astros at +101 and the under 9.5. Sharpie is on Heaney under 11.5 outs at +120. Then in college football, my only look here is Rice Tulsa under. I want Rice Tulsa under. Don Play says, how do you feel about the Leafs +1 at -305 to build my 5-team parlay? I think there's a lot of volatility in that game. So I wouldn't bother with there's a lot of offensive firepower, teams that don't like each other. So there's a total of 7. I mean, if this was a total of 5.5, maybe, but it's total's too high. So no, I would not put it at +1. I would just take a money line to build it. Steve G's on Avalanche Bruins puck line parlay, and Harold Williams on the Saints -1.5. Andre put a Dukes money line, Blues under 6, Leafs money line, Astros money line parlay just under 10-1. And Brian Pacone saying that they held Troy to 14 points, that the under is the play in James Madison Marshall. That is our show for today. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this show. I want to give a shout out before Jose puts a bow on this thing. Harold Williams, Steve G, Don Play. Don't forget, Jose and I have a big show in 51 minutes. We have our Cappers contest show coming off a 2 and 3 week. Very disappointing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but we're still 2 games over 500, and all we need is a couple big weeks. I mean, if we were under 500, there's no point doing the show. But we're still 2 games over 500, so we can get hot. Why not us? Why not us?
That means no. Well, that's a good phrase from a very popular man right now. That guy who made that phrase, very popular. But that means no winning weeks in a row, right?
0 winning weeks in a row.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. Back
Not
in the
good.
ditch.
Not good. Not good. Nordy, that one dude, Jarek White, Blue Numbers, Harold Williams, Steve G, Don Play, Justin McElvey, Andre, Real Deal Prime, Billy Friedrich, Nate Cerna, Nunya, Robert Franklin, Wine Time Sports, Rodney Barton says, take my Dukes. Wish the game was at home where you'd be there. Thank you guys. Roxer 82. I get money. God, that's not over my. Oh, I get money. Money I got. Just over every time I say your name, it's in my head. Raymond Reichart. Thank you guys. Thank you all. BJ AOD. Robert Franklin. Brian Pacone. Ayo. Say, I got money. Money I got. Fuck. I don't remember now. Got money. Money I got. I can pull it up here. It's a great song.
Yeah, well, we're gonna pause finishing the show now, so Jimmy can find this song.
Oh, it's Fitty.
Oh, Curtis Martin.
Yeah, Fitty. Yeah,
the very same.
Thank you guys so much, Mikey M, Dante Mack, Nate Dogg, Markel. I mean, I think it's being used the back of that in a few different spots there. Sharpie, thank you for joining us. Rem Most, all of you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this show. And we will see some of you guys, members only show. Thank you, Silver. Thank you, Arnillo. Thank you guys in 49 minutes. We will see you guys in 49.
God damn it. I fucked it up. It's not Curtis Martin. It's Curtis Jackson. Fuck.
Yeah,
I
Curtis
felt
Martin
so
was the
smart.
was the running back for the Jets. All right, that is our show for today. And Nate's certainly liking the over in James Madison and Marshall as well. Jojo Rich, you're the man. Please bless our action, Jose, and take us into the future.
Yes, let's bless our action here. Go listen to some Curtis Martin raps. Probably up there with Dame Dalla and Aaron Gordon, with very good rappers, obviously, that are artists, especially Aaron Gordon. Everyone knows that. But he'll go out there, make some fucking money, go get a beverage, go kick back. You've got about an hour to hang out before our Cappers contest show. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And by the way, again, shout out to Thomas Whitford yesterday. Plus 700 on their ass. 2 touchdowns. Shout out to Nasty Nate. Fuck with them. Bless your action. Leche, los bookmakers. Let's go.